on the hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Supreme Court preserves access to the widely used abortion pill mifepristone while lawsuits play out. CBS's Allison Keyes.
The High Court's decision means women seeking what's known as the abortion pill can continue to get it at pharmacies through the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. The drug is the most common method of abortion 4 years after the court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Access is likely to remain uninterrupted at least until well into next year as appeals play out in a suit filed by Louisiana. At their summit, China's President Xi Jinping warns President Trump about differences over Taiwan. CBS's Anna Corin in Beijing.
When the cameras left the Great Hall of the People, this was the first remarks that President Xi delivered to Trump, and that is Taiwan is the most important issue in the U.S.-China relationship, and that if mishandled, then it could lead to conflict. And this obviously was Xi drawing his red line.
Russia hammers Ukraine for a third straight day, flattening a Kyiv apartment block and killing at least 9 people. CBS's Aidan Stretch is in Kyiv.
President Zelensky has said was the largest attack on Ukraine of the war. Firefighters are still here. They're excavating the rubble from this building. They're still trying to find folks underneath. We don't know how many people were injured and how many people may still be underneath this pile of rubble.
FBI Director Kash Patel's snorkeling trip is being scrutinized.
Information obtained by the Associated Press shows the FBI director went on a VIP snorkel session last August at the site of the USS Arizona Memorial in Pearl Harbor, after Director Patel's official visits to Australia and New Zealand. The sunken ship is a military cemetery reachable only by boat and is off limits to snorkeling and diving with rare exceptions. The memorial marks Japan's 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor and is one of the nation's most hallowed sites, where the remains of more than 900 sailors and Marines are entombed. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
The Cuban government says CIA Director John Ratcliffe met with officials today from the Ministry of the Interior during a high-level visit to the island. The meeting reportedly served as a platform for Cuba to present evidence asserting that the nation poses no threat to U.S. national security. Meantime, in Havana, protests broke out as the city is hit with the worst rolling blackouts in decades. Resident Rodolfo Afonso. He says it gave them the motivation to come out to see if even by banging a pot, they will be given at least 3 hours of electricity. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
The suspect in the fatal stabbing of a UW student made a court appearance this afternoon. More on that story, but first, here's Lori at the traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. 25 minutes now, Linwood to Seattle, and 19 minutes, Linwood to Bellevue. We're looking at a pretty tough drive if you're heading out of Bellevue to Federal Way, just under an hour at 58 minutes. Now, Seattle to Federal Way, it's about a 3-minute slowdown, and both directions of I-5 really sluggish now between State Route 18 and the T-Dome. Federal Way to Tacoma, about a 5-minute slowdown. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. The suspect in Sunday's fatal stabbing of a 19-year-old University of Washington student made his first court appearance this afternoon. The judge found probable cause to hold him on suspicion of first-degree murder. Court documents say the victim was stabbed 40 times. Investigators say the 31-year-old former UW student from Bellevue called police around 10:40 last night, then walked into the police department and surrendered. Some had anticipated a hate crime charge because the victim was a transgender woman. SPD Chief Sean Barnes tells G and Ursula.
At this point, we have not determined if that was a reasoning for this crime. But the truth of the matter is, whenever someone from a vulnerable community is hurt, we should take a look at that and to see if that was one of the deciding factors.
Bail is set at $10 million. The man accused of throwing a large rock at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal will be released, but will head back to Hawaii to face federal charges. Igor Litvinchuk appeared before a Seattle judge this afternoon. Animal advocate Amanda Rosbrook-Doss was in the courtroom.
Well, I'm not happy. I mean, the fact that he wasn't in handcuffs, he's walking out a free man, and actually going back to Hawaii in a couple weeks.
No immediate comment from Litvinchuk's attorney. Well, if you want a copy of Real Change, it'll cost you double what it used to be. The price has gone from $2 to $4. According to the paper, the $4 you pay and any tip goes directly to the person selling it to you. The weekly paper covers news about poverty and other issues. Many of the vendors are homeless. Drug dealing cases are piling up fast here in King County. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gouchard reports.
In just the first 3 months of this year, the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office filed 46 felony drug dealing charges. A little over a third of them came from trouble spots like 12th and Jackson in the Chinatown International District, Belltown, and 3rd Avenue. More than 75% of those cases involve fentanyl or meth. Public Health reports 191 fatal overdoses so far this year. In 2025, 914 deaths were mostly tied to fentanyl. Katrina Gouchard, KIRO News Radio.
And now let's get a weather update. Cloudy and breezy this afternoon. We'll top out around 62 degrees. Pretty much the same forecast Friday and Saturday with cooler temps with highs only into the mid-50s. Sunshine returns Sunday. We're back into the 60s. It's cloudy, breezy, and 60 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go. Everyone in place. Thank you, Nate. No, didn't mean to scare you. Hey, everybody. John Curley Show. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Still working, Joe?
Yep.
It's up and running. 1-888-973-5476. Here we go, David. All right. You heard the latest brouhaha regarding my favorite podcaster. I don't know if I can call her a journalist or not. What's going on with Brandy Cruz? We'll get to her in just a second from Undivided. Here's what's happened. Is Pam Stewart still a Sammamish City Council member?
Yep.
Okay. So Pam Stewart, this organization, decides they're ethical, Washingtonians for Ethical Government decide they're going to go after Brandy Cruz because they don't like the fact that, well, she's on there advocating, she's on there speaking her mind, and they're gonna try to whack her and go after Brian Hayward from Let's Go Washington because for campaign finance laws, which most people would go, oh, God, campaign finance laws? So what are they really trying to do? Colleen Johnson had a chance to talk to the Sammamish City Council member Pam Stewart and asked this.
She can go and endorse something or speak against it or whatever, right?
And Colleen said, well, she can talk about whoever she wants and endorse whatever she wants, right?
That doesn't mean that she's getting paid by Let's Go Washington. So if you're asserting that she is, I mean, that's you got to have proof of that, or it would seem to be pretty defamatory allegation.
Well, I think there's a fundamental principle in that Ms. Cruz is no longer a journalist. She is now a paid online influencer. And that assertion is supported by both the state and federal courts when she was denied press credentials. So she now makes her living through online influencing. She's not considered a journalist anymore.
Well, it's Pam Stewart, city council member and tap dancer, apparently, around the question. All right, there she is, my favorite. I don't think you as a broadcaster, a podcaster, anything. I just think you as a friend who is very outspoken, and you will go toe-to-toe with anybody. In a civil conversation to express your points of view. You have an open mind on other people's points of view as long as they're not spraying you in the face with wasp spray or hitting you in the head or throwing water on you or just simply not wanting to hear what you have to say. Brandy Cruz, I'm going to tell you a quick story.
Okay.
Lyndon Baines Johnson, when he was running, he turned to his campaign director one time and he said, I want you to accuse my opponent of having sex with farm animals. And the campaign director said, Linda, we can't do that. We can't do that. He's never had, we have no proof of that. I know that. I just want to hear him deny it. Right? So the same sort of thing. It's like they know, Brandy Cruz, that you're not in here you're in the cabal and you're getting money, you're not getting money. They just want to slap something on top of you, to just throw some mud at you because they know you're winning. That's really what this case comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, they had this press conference, dog and pony show, announcing all these accusations they were going to make about me and Let's Go Washington before they even filed the complaint with the PDC. And I knew from the beginning, because they've tried, not this group, but a different group has tried something similar before, it wasn't about making it stick because there's some clear First Amendment issues, right? The idea was, let's get our patsies in the news media to pay attention to this. And of course, because it also involves conservatives, they'll just absolutely go for it. And they took the bait and they put out a bunch of bad headlines suggesting that I am somehow, getting paid or offering something of value or giving something of value to Let's Go Washington that they need to report to the Public Disclosure Commission. So it's obviously all just ridiculous. I have the First Amendment right to support anything I want. The government can't regulate my speech. It can't assign a value to my speech.
Right.
And that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to say, all the support you've given for the initiatives has a value because you as a podcaster have advertisers and you do endorsements for them. So you've assigned a value to your speech. So anything that you speak about, you now have a value assigned to it and you have to essentially report it to the state.
I don't even know if this organization has a lawyer, the Washingtonians for Ethical Government, but if they did run it past council, they'd be like, this is going to be a real hard needle to thread. I mean, already the Washington Supreme Court and the Supreme Court have already ruled in the favor with John Carlson, right, and Kirby Wilbur back in 2007, the same sort of thing. I guess the only thing the council she's technically not a journalist, so she's not sort of protected under this. She's not on the radio, so she's sort of out there on her own as a podcaster. We might be able to slip in there, but no.
No, because private citizens, otherwise what they're saying would apply to you as well, right? Because, name one of your favorite sponsors, John. Go ahead. Favorite show advertisers.
I love them all, but I got to say, my hip is feeling so great right now with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, and the great stem cell work that he does, more than 20,000 procedures.
Nope. Now you have value on your speech. Now your speech is assigned a value. And now anything you say on your show is supporting a candidate, supporting an initiative. Now we have to take that value and assign it to that. And now that's an in-kind contribution. So it's obviously insane, right? Because you could also say the same things for the Seattle Times editorial board. They sell advertising space to run the Seattle Times. There's a value assigned to the words in print and to their reputation. And so the idea here isn't going to be to upend state law or to overturn this 2007 ruling because they'd never win. The state, it would be unprecedented in American history for the state of Washington to say and to regulate my speech in a way where they say every opinion you have has value and you cannot give it without us regulating it as a state.
Right.
So this is just about for them is about getting headlines that call into question whether I'm supporting these initiatives for the right reasons or for some sort of shady motivation. And let me tell you, I do not need anyone to give me money for me to say that boys aren't girls and boys have no place in girls' sports.
Yeah, I like the fact when they were summarizing all the money that they apparently, listen, at least you picked up some from listeners and viewers because apparently they watched all 150 times. They said that you were saying things in support and Let's Go Washington should have to file. So they listened 150 times. That's good. But basically, Ms. Stewart gave it away in the very beginning of this piece that you put up there. It says, I'm personally outraged at the hateful language and falsehoods, tactics Cruz and Let's Go Washington uses to push these initiatives. But that's not why we're filing this complaint. Come on. Yes, it is. Listen, I don't like what you say. I disagree with you. How can I F you up? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to slap this thing on you. It's going to get a few headlines, and then people are going to talk about it. But as this initiative moves forward, and every time you go public, Brandy, people that only read the first paragraph are going to go, oh, she's in violation of this. She's with Brian Hayward. Everybody, they're all guilty of something. We can't trust a single word they say. That's basically the move.
Well, and even in the Seattle Times, it took them 7 paragraphs to even print that we denied the claims and the claims had no merit. And they referred to this group as Washingtonians for Ethical Government, which doesn't that sound nice? Oh, they're just Washingtonians for Ethical Government. No, the organization that actually put this on is a political entity. It's called Powerhouse Strategic, and they are the political firm that represents the Washington Education Association and SEIU, the Washington State Democratic Party, which are opposed to the initiative. So they didn't even put in there that Powerhouse Strategic had put out the press release. And it wasn't even hidden. Their name was on it with their person. So they chose not to even say that. And really quick on the journalist front.
Right.
I have said that I no longer consider myself a journalist. And I feel like that's a very responsible thing for me to do, because what I'm trying to signal to people is I give my opinion now. And I call myself a political commentator. But that doesn't mean I'm not a member of the press. The press is a big umbrella. The press underneath it is journalists, is columnists, is podcasters, is radio hosts, is all of these different things. Mm-hmm. We all make up the press. We all have protections under the First Amendment.
Do you think, because if we go back a number of months, you applied for a press pass. So did Ari Hoffman. You did not get one. And the reason when I called down there to find out, they said, well, you know, if we let her in, she's not a journalist, she's not with an organization, then we have to let everybody in, right? Then every single person has to come in. So do you think this was intentional? Let's deny her a press pass, so it's established she's not press. And then at that point, once we sort of isolate her into being non-journalist, then we can go after her with this ridiculous lawsuit. Yes. Do you think that all?
Yeah.
Yes?
100%. I think it was all coordinated. And I also want to point out one of the lies that Pam Stewart is telling is that the state and federal courts have decided I'm not a journalist. They haven't ruled on that. No. They ruled on an emergency motion in the final days of the session to try to get our press passes relinquished while our case moved forward. Our case against the state is in the very early stages. We haven't even started discovery. I mean, that's how early it is. I'm confident we'll prevail at the end of the day because all of the case law is on our side. And also, I wasn't denied a press pass by everyone. You know who gave me a press pass? The Democrats in the Washington State Senate.
Yes.
I had a press pass from the beginning of the session to the end of the session. You know who allowed me into his press conferences? Governor Bob Ferguson. From the beginning of the session to the end of the session. The only entity that denied me a press pass and said, we don't consider you media, is the Washington State House of Representatives, run by Democrats, and Speaker of the House, Lori Jenkins.
So that case with you and Ari still moving forward on this one, you've had to call your lawyer a number of times in the last couple of months, which sucks for you because it's costing not only you just the aggravation, but then there's also additional cost to it. And I think they know this, Brandy. I think they know they have to do this. So if somebody attacks you, obviously attacks you, physically assaults you, and then wants to take that to court, I think they've dismissed that. But there's time, there's money. You got to call a lawyer, get a lawyer. This same sort of thing, you got to fight this. I don't know if you have additional help with it. But they just want to just whack away at you, right? And if you really were to... You know, they always justify all of this stuff with, well, the ends justify the means, and we're protecting democracy, right? We're this is what democracy looks like. And, you know, you're a horrible human being and you say horrible things and we need to stop you any way we possibly can. Whether we have to spray something in your face, right, or we have to physically assault you, or we have to death threats against you. It's because the ends will justify the means, because Brandy Cruz cannot express her opinion because it is that damaging to the vulnerable communities in the state of Washington. I mean, that's what they believe.
Well, and you see that manifest itself in so many different ways. I mean, look what happened with Chloe Cole. She's a famous detransitioner. She was going to be at the University of Washington, but the threats were just so egregious. She couldn't even go there and speak. A normal functioning human being would say, oh, I don't agree with Chloe Cole, so I'm just not going to go to the University of Washington to watch her speak.
Right.
You know, I don't feel like hearing from somebody I disagree with, but they don't function in that way. They can't even allow words they disagree with to touch their ears, but it's more than that. I think they find our arguments compelling. We're on the right side of history, and we're on the side of history that aligns with biological reality and also with the parental rights issue. And as an example of that, I would welcome any day of the week, any of the Democrats that supported those policies on my show to talk to me for as long as they'd like. I'll give them hours on my show for them to make the case why they think biological boys should be in girls' sports or why they think that they should hide secrets from parents.
Yeah.
And I'll do that because I'm so confident that my arguments on the merits are better than theirs. I will debate them and discuss the issue with them in good faith. The other side won't do that, and it's because they don't have an argument. They're just mad that something they want to be true with every fiber of their being will never be true.
This has to be both flattering in a sort of roundabout, ironic way that you must feel the power of your podcast is obviously upsetting to them because you're speaking the truth on this stuff, which they can't stand, and they want to stop you and they want to stop Brian. It's the same way we saw when the initiative gatherers were out there trying to get people to sign up at Fred Meyer, and people are running up and assaulting them and taking and ripping up. I mean, right? I mean, obviously, they always say that you've lost the argument when you're screaming at the other person, right? It's over at that point. They're obviously just, metaphorically screaming with this lawsuit and anything else to go with this. But unfortunately, it works for them in the state of Washington. That's the sad thing.
Well, it only works, I think, as long as we allow it to work. And yeah, I mean, look, I think this is the difficult thing about this for me is this is an 80-20 issue nationally. And I talk to a lot of Democrats sort of offline. I don't have a friend or family member who thinks boys should be competing against girls. I've never spoken to someone out in public who believes boys should compete against girls. The only people I hear with that position really who actually take it forcefully are random people online.
Yeah.
And so I really struggle with how does something like this even come to be? But to your point, I'm worried about the months ahead, John. You look at how vitriolic and violent. I mean, they've threatened to come to my home to hurt me over this issue. I've been assaulted in public. We get protested whenever we have any sort of event. I mean, this Saturday, we're anticipating getting protested. They're trying to bankrupt my business. They're trying to destroy my reputation. And so what is the option we have? I mean, giving up isn't an option. And so you just persist, right? And we'll just keep going until they, I don't know, kill us, I guess. Because
No.
I am worried that that's sort of the next thing is, if they can't get us to shut up in any other way, I don't know what their next step will be. But I'll tell you that that's what concerns me more than anything else.
Well, obviously. The other good part of it is, again, trying to find the other bright side, that people that haven't heard of you, that don't know about Undivided and the work that you do. They then find you, and then it's like, hey, I want to hear more. They then support you with their dollars. And I would encourage anybody that wants to see the work that you do. I really love your stuff, but I really love when you went down to Portland. For people to see a fair report. I remember when you were talking to the Antifa people down there and the protesters, and they had all the masks on, and you said, okay, this is how many people are here at this point and that point. You were down there for, I think, 48 hours. You interviewed a whole bunch of people that were willing to talk to you. And it was fair, right down the middle. Here's what they say. Here's what this is. This is what the media is saying. This is what I saw on these 48 hours. I thought it was a really wonderful sort of balanced piece of what's really happening in the streets of Portland. This is a story from 4 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's an example of work that is like, look, let's just get to where the truth is, get rid of all this other stuff that's going back and forth. And then here's my opinion on the facts that I could gather from whatever the story is. And that's the work that you do. So,
well, I appreciate that. And we did have our single best week of subscriptions ever after the progressives attacked us. So thank you, progressive cabal.
Thank you, Pam Stewart. Well, you could, with all that money, you get yourself a fancy haircut like Pam if you wanted to.
You know what I think I'll do with it instead is pay for my attorney that I now need. So.
Well, you're creating jobs in the state of Washington. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then should I not say about the what's happening on Saturday? Should I not promote it? You care?
No, please promote away.
What is it?
I'm emceeing a meeting of the Snohomish County Republican Party. It's their annual fundraiser. Apparently, there's a woman there who I did not know, Katie Faust, who is opposed to same-sex marriage, a position I've never held. But the Seattle Times linked us together, so the protesters are going to come protest.
Here's the shocking news, Seattle Times. Christian woman doesn't approve of gay marriage. Woo! Imagine that. Crazy.
That was their front page article on a Sunday. Real big news.
Well done. All right, Brandy Cruz, back to work with you. Thanks a lot. Tell Nicole I said hi.
Will do.
Bye-bye. Okay, Nate checking. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Lori checking traffic. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Sorry.
Seattle to Everett right now is just under an hour at 52 minutes, and Bellevue to Everett 47 minutes. Now, if you're heading across the lake bridges, either Bellevue to Seattle or Seattle to Bellevue, you've got a speed limit drive. Bellevue to Federal Way, that's almost an hour drive as well. And Federal Way to Tacoma, just a 15-minute drive. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Hey, Closets by Design came out to the barn yesterday? 2 days ago. They're out there doing more work. I was like, what are they doing now, Nick? She's, they're putting a closet in Rye's bedroom. Yes, my son is coming back for the I know. He's coming just for the summer. He's doing fine. Don't worry about it. But the one room didn't have a closet. And Closets by Design said, we can design a closet just for that room. It'll fit in this space perfectly for you. And we'll make sure that the wood on the closet matches the wood wherever else the other wood was. Nick's handling all that. That's the type of customized work you get done. They did all sorts of stuff for us because there's parts of the house, think of your own home, that don't function correctly. I'm talking about a closet. You open the closet and everything falls out, or you can't put anything in it because it's so jammed, and that's simply a non-functioning closet. Same thing happens to the garage. Oh, it's a 2-car garage. No, it's not. It's a half-a-car garage because there's so much junk in there. Have you thought about better storage? The first step is calling Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. So I've noticed my lights flickering and breakers tripping. Should I be worried?
That could be a sign your electrical panel's outdated or unsafe.
Oh.
But don't worry, we can send an electrician out fast. We'll inspect your panel, make sure everything's safe, and if it needs upgrading, we'll walk you through your options.
Thanks.
Don't wait until it's too late. Schedule your electrical safety inspection today at cmheating.com. And remember, for panel upgrades, repairs, and all your electrical needs, there's no beating CM Heating. CMHEA HL754L3.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, denailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit EWSalvage.com. Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries,
They add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Hi, I'm Erica, the annuals buyer here at Sky Nursery. This May, stock up on beautiful quality annual plants, especially if mom likes flowers. I'm adding a peachy orange begonia hanging basket for the shady side of my garden. I'm also excited for my patch of Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate to grow. And I've been planting dried flowers like strawflower and gomphrena, which you can keep as a bouquet year-round. So come on into Sky and see what you can grow. It's simpler than you think. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. skynursery.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The 31-year-old Bellevue man police say stabbed to death a University of Washington student Sunday has been ordered held on $10 million bail. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is at the courthouse and has this to report. James?
Yeah, that's right, Nate. That court hearing wrapped up a little bit less than an hour ago. According to court documents, the victim, identified as 19-year-old Michael Blessing, a transgender woman who went by the name of Juniper, was stabbed more than 40 times in the head, neck, shoulders, arms, and hands. Suspect turning himself in to police late Wednesday night. Here's Casey McNurthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
The judge, after hearing from both sides, found probable cause for the defendant's arrest on murder in the first degree with a deadly weapon enhancement. The court set bail at what prosecutors asked at $10 million.
Now, we have not yet named the suspect because he has not been formally charged. He turned himself into the Bellevue Police Department in Bellevue last night and was handed over to Seattle Police and booked into the King County Jail. Prosecutors will make an official charging decision early next week. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, James. Federal agents shut down an alleged human smuggling scheme at the U.S.-Canada border. 2 British Columbia men appeared in federal court in Tacoma this week. Prosecutors say last week 8 Vietnamese nationals were caught after illegally entering the U.S. at Point Roberts, then flying to Bellingham. Authorities say some of them paid up to $15,000 to be smuggled into the United States. New numbers out today paint a grim picture of Washington's continuing snow drought. Snow has melted 26 days earlier than usual. More than half of all stream flow forecasts are approaching historic lows. The state is in its 4th straight year of declared drought. Karen Boombako is with the Washington State Climate Office.
What we learn this time around can increase our readiness for future droughts that we know are coming.
Officials say water supplies will fall far short of summer demand. China's president is apparently making an order for some American airplanes. That's what President Trump tells Fox News.
He's going to order 200 jets. That's a big thing, Boeing. 200 big ones. That's a lot of jobs. It's a lot.
Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg accompanied Trump on his trip to China. We have reached out to Boeing for comment. And now we reach out to Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Rented to Bellevue right now is 21-minute drive. We're seeing heavy traffic 405 northbound. And then southbound slows pretty good through Bellevue. Seattle to Everett right now, 52 minutes, and Bellevue to Everett, 47 minutes. Now, I just saw a little bit of a slowdown westbound 520 as you're heading into Seattle, but already between the time I saw it, it has cleared up. So it's not costing you any slowdowns on the lake bridges, whether you're going westbound or eastbound. Seattle Tacoma now is a 54-minute drive. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thanks, Lori. Cloudy, breezy, 62 for today's high. Same forecast tomorrow, but much cooler, about 56. More steady rain on Saturday before sun returns Sunday. Cloudy, breezy, 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
The John Curley Show. And Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. It's Home Comfort Alliance. Home Comfort Alliance. Buy a heating system, get a cooling system for free. Can't go wrong with that one. The cooling system will feel even better because it's free. You're like, ooh, I like this. By the way, not a journalist. Joe, never been a journalist, although I could play one on television.
Yes, you could.
Yes, I could. I just give journalists a lot of credit for those people that keep their opinion out of stuff. But it's so hard, right? We were just talking to Brandy Cruz from Undivided because we've got this group that's suing her and saying that, well, she's a podcaster and she should public disclosure forms need to be filled out that she's being given, she's giving her opinion, but she's getting paid and she pay for her opinion. It's just garbage nonsense. But it's just one sort of way of slowing her down and Brian Haywood and the work that they're doing with Let's Go Washington. I saw a really interesting story about which verbs and which adjectives are chosen by journalists and how there's just natural bias in there. I remember reading a piece. It was they did a review of the students at Columbia School of Journalism there in New York City, and the one headline they looked at was when Bush 1 went around. Everything's Bush 1 went around talking about Social Security reform. I mean Bush 1, yeah, Bush 1. And it was president goes to states to peddle, like a peddler, right? You know, a peddler? Mm-hmm. Put the pedal on your bindle on your back, the little stick with the thing, a peddler. And I remember reading the work that was done when they used, so why peddling? To peddle your position to advocate for privatizing Social Security. And they looked at that. Why that particular verb, right? Not storming or canvassing or selling or promoting or fighting for. He was peddling. I thought it was an interesting, it makes it seem very small, right? And not serious. You're kind of coming in with really nothing to offer, a peddler moving on through an area. And that's those words that are chosen by journalists because, let's face it, they have a position and you're never going to get the straight whatever it is. There's going to be a bias one way or the other on it. So, good luck to any journalist trying to actually just tell the story. They should do it without any adjectives or adverbs. That'd be a pretty good way of doing it. I saw this story. Jeff Jazz, who is a billionaire. I don't know why we still have him around. He's come up with a really interesting idea. So this could work in the state of Washington as well. But he looks at some numbers, and he has a fascinating proposal for the folks there in New York City. Listen to this.
New York City spends roughly $37 billion a year to educate about 150,000 kids. That's over $42,000 per child per year. And the results are abysmal. 2/3 of fourth graders can't do math properly, and almost 3/4 can't read at grade level. You don't have to be an expert in fractions to know that is bad. Let's agree that the political reality is we cannot reduce the amount of public education spending at all. Fine. What can we...
Did you get that? So he's not going to get into a battle of, well, we're not going to give the money here or there. So fine. It's already going to be spent. You're already collecting it. We don't need to reduce it. Don't worry, everybody. Here we go. $42,000 per student. It's coming in. We're not going to change that. But
what we do, Mr. Mayor, is tell every mom in New York City that the $42,000 currently spent on that terrible education is going to be her money. Here comes some more advanced mathematics. Some more long division. We are going to give her half, 21,000. That's 42,000 divided by 2. Every year she will receive that as a voucher for her child to attend whatever school she wants.
Got it? So now because we're going to spend the money on the kid anyway, we give her the money and then she gets a chance to choose what school the kid goes to. All right, good.
We are going to take the other 21,000, put it in a real account, not a fictional Social Security account, for which her child is the sole beneficiary. If it returns a paltry 2% over the next 13 years, that child will graduate high school with $300,000, enough for college, trade school, or a down payment. Give $300,000 to a graduate who can do math and read and write, and adios affordability crisis. No more need for $30 million government grocery stores, free buses, or rent control. This solution is such an obvious win for New York City mayors that I am confident that Mayor Mamdani will hear this talk and he will agree and he will change the policy.
No, he knows that. Jeff knows that. you're not going to get that from Mondani because the people that control the politicians are the people that control the money, and the people that control the money are the teachers union. That's the way it is in the state of Washington. That's the way it is in New York. Although, interestingly enough, Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, said, I know the president did that $1,700 tax deduction that you can do. I think 22 states, just off the top of my head with the memory, said, yeah, we will accept the $1,700 if you want to give it to us in a tax donation. So you can give it to whatever school you want, private school, public school, whatever one you want to give it to. Each state has to open the door and say, yes, we will receive it. The state of Washington still has to determine whether or not they want to receive $1,700 from you, the taxpayer, because the unions don't want you to, because then all of a sudden you start to get an idea of what freedom feels like and what choice feels like. New York said, yeah, we want it because we don't want it going to another state. Because you could be a New Yorker and you could write off the $1,700. You'd get that back on your taxes, and you could send it to Philadelphia. You could send it to somebody in Virginia. You could go to Richmond, Virginia. You could send it wherever you want. So Hochul realizes, hey, let's keep that money here if we can. State of Washington, I guess Bob Ferguson needs to pick up the phone, call the teachers union and ask, can we accept the money? Do you want us to do that? And if not, that's okay. We can just continue to not answer the question. I think the last thing I'd seen a couple weeks ago, the governor is still trying to determine whether or not he wants you to be able to give your tax donation of $1,700 to any school, private, public, whatever you want in the state of Washington. But for some reason, they just don't want you to get that sense. Oh, I see. I get a choice. Wouldn't that be fascinating if you got the voucher? I know Arizona has vouchers, but if all of a sudden you're a parent and you want your kid to, let's assume every parent wants their kid to do well, right? If you're a good parent, it's $21,000. You could, and then all of a sudden the schools are competing. That's the other thing it does. Now the schools realize, oh boy, somebody has to make a choice. They could spend it here or here or here. So we want to hire good teachers. What programs do we have? What are we going to offer for curricular activities, extracurricular activities? What metrics do we have? Because now the market is open, and that person is looking around like, what do I get for my $21,000? What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Now they're competing, and as they compete, now they're going to get rid of the crappy teacher. Now they're going to have a better building, or maybe they're just going to have a different type of way of teaching. The marketplace is open to ideas. The money is flowing and going to those that are succeeding, and those that are failing have to either go out of business or they're going to have to change and evolve in some way in order to compete for those dollars.
What? That's crazy.
It's crazy talk.
Get out of here.
I don't know what happened to me.
Competition can bring the price down.
It's something like that. It's cookie talk. Oof. I said the same thing about medical. Let's get the money away from the employer. If the state and my employer allowed me to have that money, you would release 130 million shoppers going out into the marketplace. Hey, what's it cost for a colonoscopy? I could use one this week.
Me too.
Something.
Do a colonoscopy day?
Yes. Yeah. Or whatever procedure you need. That's the topic for another time. All right, Lori, checking traffic. What do you got, Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Southbound I-5, right at 516, a collision is in the very center lane, making your drive Seattle to Federal Way about 37 minutes. We're looking at a 1-minute delay. Seattle to Everett, 52 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, just 47 minutes. And Bellevue to Federal Way, just under an hour at 52 minutes, which is better. It's actually getting a little bit faster. I'm seeing a brief slowdown. Actually, no longer both lake bridges are a speed limit drive, whether you're going from Bellevue to Seattle or vice versa. And Seattle to Tacoma, 54 minutes. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Are you in any kind of pain? Are you considering surgery because the knees just are cracking and not working, and the hips are bad, and the shoulder, whatever else you've got going on? Maybe you've been a competitive athlete for a long time, running in 5Ks or playing a whole bunch of tennis. Maybe you picked up pickleball again, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, my knees aren't working. That, you know what that is? That is a chance for you to call Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports from Regenerative Medicine. He is the stem cell guy. Fix my hip. I'm running again. I feel great. And It's all because of Dr. Mark Wagner. I was thinking about getting surgery, and they're like, well, we could put a new hip in, but we got to wait a couple of years. I was like, what do I do in the meantime? Suffer. Nope. Go to see Wagner. 90-minute outpatient procedure. He's done 20,000 of these. He's got 30 years of experience. He is the man to see. So if you've got joints that are failing you, and you just know you got bone on bone and the knees and the hips and the shoulders, and none of that's working before you go under the knife, just go see Dr. Mark Wagner. That's drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
A rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. Subaru of Puyallup has a wonderful selection of fuel-efficient models, from the all-electric Solterra to hybrid options. With stress-free pricing and all-wheel drive confidence, SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead, explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Margaret Casino Resort text line. 1-888-973-5476. Well, this guy must regret throwing this rock at this monk eel, right? Or monk seal. Sorry. Forgot the S. Here's Como.
A man accused of throwing a large rock at an endangered monk seal in Hawaii is due in a Seattle federal courtroom in just a couple of hours.
Yeah.
38-year-old Igor Litovin.
You got to give who's the reporter on this, Como? Man, she had a running start at this. This is like pole vaulting over somebody's name. How many vowels in this guy's name? This is crazy.
18, I think.
Here we go.
38-year-old Igor Litovin was arrested.
Oh, she skipped the middle name. Oof.
Near Seattle and charged with violating the Endangered Species Act and Marine Mammal Protection Act. Investigators say he's seen throwing the rock in the video taken on Maui, claiming he was, quote, rich enough to pay any fines. Animal advocates are also planning to be in that federal courtroom this afternoon.
Just because you can afford to pay the fines doesn't mean it's okay to hurt any living thing. And I think that it's a true sign of a sociopath.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association says people should always stay at least 50 feet away from endangered seals. We will have a crew following this story in federal court, and we'll bring you updates this afternoon.
There we go on that one. The video of him throwing it, what's he doing?
What are you doing? Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello? You Holly?
Ooh, Howie, call him Howie. He's a Ukrainian guy. He says he's a billionaire, and I guess when they asked him, he says, well, I can afford it if they find me. Then what happened to him? Did somebody go into his hotel room?
Yes, so he was detained shortly after throwing the rock.
Yeah.
They didn't arrest him. They just kind of cited him, got his information, set up this federal charge.
Yeah.
And then somebody who was paying attention to the whole situation found out which hotel he was staying at, followed him there, and one guy, put the belt to his A.
Took him out to the behind the woodshed for what do they call that? A wood shampoo.
Yes. Gave him
I looked it up because sometimes it's cultural. Like I looked up to see, do Ukrainians
throw a rock?
Are they? No, there's certain countries that have no regard for animals. None. Dogs, cats, right? Kenya's apparently the worst, according to this organization. So I thought, okay, do Ukrainians, do they treat dogs well? Do they treat cats well? And apparently they're pretty good about it. They've got shelters. They have like a humane society type of thing. So obviously it's not a cultural thing. He's not coming in there and he's like, well, in my country, we throw rocks all the time. It's part of our traditional monk seal rock throwing week.
He's just a good old fashioned.
He's just a jerk. He found a big rock. He saw the thing out there and he thought, I'm going to throw something at it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's stupid. Did he kill it? No,
I don't think so. No.
Didn't even hit it.
Oh, he missed it?
He missed.
Oh.
He has all the money in the world to pay a fine, but no accuracy.
I wonder if that helps him at all. That he's like, I wasn't intending to hit it. I just wanted to go near it.
I thought it actually hit him, but maybe you're right.
Yeah. And you guys talked about this before when I wasn't here. Was
this was last Friday.
Were the other hosts in favor of the street justice?
Oddly enough, Angela and I were both in favor of the wood shampoo. Greg Tomlin, however, was very adamant that was just wrong, and we should have faith in our institutions. And if they don't, if you
don't want to be policing to go to the guys, right? Isn't he innocent till proven guilty?
No, I saw it. He was videotaped. Video evidence speaks for itself.
Oh, okay.
I think they were
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where is he now? Is he in hiding?
No, he's in court apparently.
Okay.
They arrested him as soon as he landed in Seattle.
Yeah, well, he's got some explaining to do and some checks to write. Here comes Lori checking traffic for us, Lori. Please.
Northbound I-5 at 516. Look out for a collision in the center lane, making your drive Seattle to Federal Way. About 45 minutes. That's an extra 10 minutes for you. Seattle to Everett is 52 minutes. Let's see. Bellevue to Federal Way is just under an hour at 52 minutes. And both Lake Bridges right now a speed limit drive. Seattle to Tacoma, just under an hour at 54 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I looked something up the other day. I didn't even look it up. I said it in a room in my house.
Weekdays noon to 3.
And I have a smart device. And then for 3 days, everywhere, my phone, my computer at work, I see ads for that thing that I was mentioning. It was very specific.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
That's technology and AI being used to expand the reach of technology into every aspect of our lives. Everything.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live or later on the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast.
Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. Supreme Court has taken up a couple of cases today. First, CBS's Allison Keyes reports on a big ruling about women's abortion pill access.
The High Court's decision means women seeking what's known as the abortion pill can continue to get it at pharmacies through the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. The drug is the most common method of abortion 4 years after the court overturned Roe v. Wade.
The nation's High Court has also issued a decision that could have a ripple effect across the trucking industry by opening up trucking companies to lawsuits over crashes on the basis of the drivers they hire. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
These large trucking companies cannot escape liability simply by reinventing themselves, be chameleon companies owned by people overseas when they really do have a very dangerous safety record.
President Trump says his talks in Beijing with Chinese President Xi went great, while China's leader has issued a warning for the U.S. over Taiwan. CBS's Natalie Brandt explains.
A senior administration official says Taiwan also came up with both sides reiterating their long-held stance on the issue. For decades, the U.S. has declined to recognize China's claim over the self-governing island, selling defensive weapons to Taiwan. In a blunt statement today, China warned the two countries will have clashes and even conflicts if the issue isn't handled properly.
They've also discussed the war with Iran, and the oil issue and higher gas prices due to that war had American shoppers pulling back on spending in April. Retail sales rose 0.5% in April, a slowdown from the revised 1.6% in March. The Trump administration has lost another court case. CBS's Jim Krasula explains.
It's being seen as yet another legal setback for President Donald Trump's Justice Department. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's demands for confidential transgender patient information from Rhode Island's largest hospital. The DOJ claims such information is needed to investigate what it calls possible misbranding fraud.
A veteran Hollywood actor takes the commencement stage, and his speech is now getting a lot of attention.
Your generation has far more power than you may realize.
Harrison Ford there at Arizona State University this week, his speech going viral in the best way possible. Looking back on his own college years,
I did not make good choices.
He told the grads to take hold of opportunities and inspire.
Stand up for someone who can't stand up for themselves. Bring people together who weren't talking before. That's leadership. That's what moves the needle.
That's CBS's Matt Wolf reporting. The United Nations says at least 78 people have died in gang clashes in Haiti since Saturday. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
The man who threw a rock at an endangered seal appeared in federal court this afternoon. We've got the details coming up. But first, a look at your commute from the real-time traffic desk. Here's Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by KIRO Newsradio App. 405 southbound just north of Northeast 70th. Look out for a stall. It's in the right lane, making your drive 58 minutes, Bellevue to Everett. Seeing a pretty heavy drive 167 out of Renton. It really doesn't let up until you get to Algona, a little break, and then heavy all the way into Sumner. Seattle to Everett, an hour 5 minutes, Bellevue to Federal Way, and Seattle to Tacoma now an hour 5 minutes. Tech text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The Covington man accused of harassing an endangered Hawaiian monk seal is heading back to Hawaii, this time to face federal charges. KIRO News Radio's John Rep has the story.
Wearing tan federal detention center clothing, Igor Litvinchuk sat quietly as a judge ordered him released on bond and to head to Hawaii to face federal charges after prosecutors say he threw a large rock at a monk seal. He could face a year behind bars and fines, but animal advocate Amanda Rosbrook-Doss says
it's not enough. It is not enough. Clearly, this guy thinks he can buy himself out of any trouble, and there's zero consequence to people like him.
Court documents say Litvinchuk told eyewitnesses he was rich enough to pay any fines. John Rep, KIRO News Radio.
A 13-year-old boy is under arrest after allegedly pointing a stolen gun at a driver in unincorporated Bremerton. Deputies say the teen aimed the weapon after the driver passed two boys in the roadway. No shots were fired. The suspect later ran, ditched the unloaded gun, and was found hiding under a truck. Public records obtained by the Center Square are raising more big questions about the state attorney general's office and its involvement with the millionaire's tax. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
The emails show the AG's office described the state Supreme Court as favorable a venue as we're likely to get when it came to a ruling to overturn or uphold the Secretary of State's rejection of a millionaire's tax referendum. With the majority of the court on the ballot, it's raising big questions about the AG's opinion of the state's judicial branch and the court's potential political leanings. Center Square reporter TJ Martinell.
They're claiming that one court is more favorable to the Attorney General's office than others. This really does raise questions as to what the Attorney General's office thinks of the current Supreme Court.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A new concert venue is coming to Seattle. The Times reports a 5,500 capacity venue will be built at the site of the old Pyramid Brewery. The Seattle Mariners developed the site in 2021. Live Nation and the Mariners are teaming up on this. The name of the new venue hasn't been confirmed, but there are details all about it at sotoballroom.com. And now your weather update, 62 and cloudy right on into the night. In fact, it stays mostly cloudy with scattered showers through Saturday. Cooler temps, highs hovering in the mid-50s, and then back into the 60s and sunshine on Sunday. Right now, cloudy, breezy, and 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go with the John Curley Show, and thank you, everyone. You can follow us on Instagram, please. It's so much fun, behind the scenes. Frivolity, and horseplay as you put the show together at the John Curley Show on Instagram. And then all the work we put on, we think are going to be informative and educational. 400 people look at it.
Womp, womp.
But then like two hard-boiled eggs or 2 eggs blow up in the microwave. 12,000, look at that. Come on.
Come on, guys.
What's wrong? Come on.
Trying to wake people up here.
You know what? Just forget it. Let's not do. Let's just newstainment again. Diving into the news.
All eggs all the time.
That's right. Here's an egg on somebody's face. Before somebody starts texting in the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. I'll say this. I like the fact that Rand Paul is still asking questions about COVID. And we all move on. That was so yesterday. Just for a moment, think about what happened. Think about the lack of trust, the breaking down of institutions, the millions and millions and millions of lives affected by the virus. From the loss of education and the years and the setbacks, the suicides, the alcohol, the drugs, the small businesses that were forced to close.
The people who died.
The people that died, the people that lost their jobs, the people that were forced to take vaccines, that have been harmed by it. And we got from the Biden administration 2 pages. And I think then they got another one, which was 9 pages about the origins of where did it come from? So now they're still digging into it. Even though Fauci was given a pardon by an auto pen, he can still get charged state by state, but the statute of limitations has run out on him. Plus, they can't go after him on other things. But here's an investigation that's going on now. So there's a CIA operative that's been in the business with the CIA spooks for like 20 or some years. And you could tell when he was giving this, could you tell that his voice was cracking a couple of times? I sense that it emotionally is really ripping at him.
Yeah, because he's not a foreign. He is active.
He's still in it, right. So he's talking about COVID and the origins. And here he is explaining what was happening behind the scenes. This happened just yesterday.
I am a career CIA operations officer. And as you mentioned, I was on joint duty assignment at the Office of Director National Intelligence Directors Initiatives Group, or the DIG, between March 2025 and April 2026. I was responsible for leading the DIG's investigation into COVID origins, anomalous health incidents, and unidentified anomalous phenomena.
He's got them all, right? So he's doing all. Okay, here we go. So UFOs and the origin. All right, here we go.
I'm here today to discuss the COVID cover-up, the national security implications associated with the DIG's investigative findings, and CIA refusal to comply with lawful oversight, as well as how we remedy these problems.
The CIA, when established, I think after World War II, has been a rogue organization forever. And even in 1997, I think it was, when they set up with the Church Committee, and Senator Frank Church from Idaho, and I think, who else was in there? There's like 6 or 7, maybe 7 guys all together in there, wanting to find out about what the CIA does off budget. They had 800 officials, 250 executives. They had 21 public hearings talking about the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA. And they wanted to know, what are you doing with the money? Who are you killing? Where are you hiding stuff? Are you torturing people? What are you doing, CIA? And the only thing that really came out of it was, unfortunately, the FISA, which doesn't help any of us. Plus, it was Ford that said, okay, Executive Order 11905, no more political assassinations. And even Dick Cheney was like, whoa, let's not, come on now. Let's,
nothing rash, please. Come on.
Right. Hell, I don't trust the CIA. Nobody should trust them. And here we find out that when this guy who's working for the CIA wants to find out about the origins of COVID that killed millions of people more.
Dr. Fauci's role in the cover-up was intentional. Dr. Fauci influenced the analytical process and findings by leveraging his position to ensure the IC consulted with a conflicted list of curated subject matter experts, public health officials, and scientists.
So basically, when Fauci said, okay, if you want to talk to officials, you want to talk to doctors, you want to talk to this person and this person and this person and this person and this person, and they'll tell you what you need to hear. When every single one of the people that Fauci was directing them to was already biased towards Fauci because...
This included some of the authors of the paper, The Proximal Origin of SARS-CoV-2, and other public health experts who have been in his orbit for the last 20-plus years. Some of the scientists were part of the Biological Sciences Experts Group, or the BSEG, an Office of Director National Intelligence advisory body whose members often receive considerable funding from NIAID and public health agencies.
Oh, okay. By the way, the origin thing that came out, if you remember that story, I think there were 3 or 4 doctors who were working on it, and they were like leaning towards, we think this was produced in the lab. Fauci called them at 11:30 at night and said, hey, you really might want to consider some of that stuff. So then they came up with another one that said, oh, no, it came from a bat. So you got Fauci in there, you got the CIA in there. They're not going to come up with a decision. And Rand Paul says,
did anyone ever bring up that Anthony Fauci approved the research that went on in Wuhan
and that it might not be in his interest for the conclusion to be that it came from a lab that he had funded, that there might be a conflict. Did anybody ever bring up that he might not be an objective witness?
That was one example of an email. No one laid it out quite that clearly. You're piecing it together. We were piecing it together from multiple emails, from multiple agencies, multiple documents. It was more subtle than that. Nobody said this is happening, and unfortunately, I think they probably should have. It was all out there.
Yeah, isn't it amazing that we still don't know? And the last time when it was, I think it was August of 2020, whatever the year was, Biden 2024 or something. Just said, well, I guess we'll never know. Remember the CIA? CIA is 51% sure that it came from that it jumped from a bat to a human being, and that there was no lab involved. Remember that? Like CIA? Like, oh, okay, CIA came up with that?
Yeah. They came up with that. And when he says IC, he means intelligence community. And they had already, prior to Fauci getting involved in the where did it come from research, they had already determined that it was a lab leak of some sort. There's no way that this came.
It doesn't jump. It can't, because there was no different species. It didn't just go bang right to a human being. Here's what most people that aren't indoctrinated into Fauci, into St. Fauci, here's the line you could follow. So Fauci gives the money to Peter Daszak from EcoHealth Alliance, $5 million. Some of that money, part of it, or a large sum of it, funding goes to China because they had outlawed gain-of-function research. They said, you can't do that. We don't want you coming up with viruses and stuff. Not in the United States. So, how about in China? So they do it over there in China at the Wuhan lab. But the Wuhan lab is not exactly the best when it comes to the latest and, making sure that these very dangerous viruses don't get out. So then in November of, I guess it was 2020, or 2021, 2020, I think, somebody there gets sick, and then they start hiding all this information, and then it starts to come out. Now it's out, and there it is. So you follow the money going from Peter Daszak, from Health Alliance, from NIH. He's a buddy of Fauci, goes to him, goes there. They come up with the thing. Boom, it comes out for whatever reason. Now it's out. Then it gets released and off and running. The reason they can't say, oh, it came from the lab is because if you look at it, you're like, well, did we fund it? Did we create it? Is it our responsibility? Is that our tax dollars built this virus that killed your grandmother? I mean, they can't have that. So that's why you had Fauci, and you had the guy that I think it was just a couple of days ago or 2 weeks ago, he was indicted, and he'll probably spend hopefully the rest of his life in jail. When they were talking about Dr. Mims or something like that, Mims or whatever his name is, he's like, yeah, well, I was talking to the people that were telling me how to delete to make sure that I couldn't get any FOIA requests and get into my Gmail. Because he was talking to Fauci about how to hide stuff because they didn't want anybody to find any. And then you find out the CIA was not investigating because they don't want you to know. So everybody's covering it all up. But this is just what the CIA does for whatever reason. And then here's the other weird story that they went in. Why does this computer make this noise?
It's been happening recently.
Okay, good. The CIA, when they went in there to get some of the COVID stuff, right, where they're hiding that.
Well, yeah. So he also testified. Trump had recently said, "Okay, we got to release everything on JFK, release everything on MK Ultra, and all these other things." Whether he knew that wouldn't happen or not remains to be seen. So they had those files. What hadn't been released. We were told last year that it had all been released. Yeah. What hadn't been released was in Tulsi Gabbard's office, and she was apparently reviewing them to see what could be declassified. And then I guess when she was on her lunch break or something, they decided to go in there and take all that stuff.
Tulsi Gabbard's office. Agents hauled out dozens of boxes, files on the JFK assassination and MK Ultra, the CIA mind control operation, which she was in the process of declassifying.
Well, the MK Ultra is from the 60s or 70s.
So was JFK assassination.
Today's whistleblower said it during his deposition, and Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna confirmed it moments ago.
The reason why this is troubling is, A, there was an executive order that the president had directed the full declassification of JFK, but then also to the MK Ultra files. The CIA famously has said that, all documents were released and other documents had been destroyed. So these are allegedly those documents that apparently never existed.
Can the CIA overrule the president?
No, the CIA cannot overrule the president. The CIA cannot even overrule the director of national intelligence.
Come on.
In 1975, the Church Committee, which became the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, specifically ordered DCI William Colby to release all of the MK Ultra files. He famously went back to CIA headquarters and ordered that all of the files be destroyed. 85% of them were destroyed. He was held in contempt of Congress, and then CIA employees lined the halls and contributed cash to pay for the fine that he was ordered to pay. We only know what we know about MK Ultra because of the 15% of the files that weren't destroyed. These are among those 15% of the files.
Here's the way these guys look at it. You're in for 4 years or you're in for 8. We're in for life. And we don't care what you do. And we don't care what you want. We don't care what the President of the United States says. We'll just wait you out or lie to you or have a black budget. This is offline, and we're going to give you plausible deniability. Where's the $200 million or the $2.3 billion for this or that? Listen, it's best that you don't know, because if you did know, then there'd be trouble for you. So don't worry about it. Don't ask questions, right? And then so the money moves over into these black budget areas, and then it's like, oh, what's the CIA up to?
Well, here's so that clip that we just played was from Jesse Waters on Fox News. They have now scrubbed that interview from the internet. You can't find it anywhere. I happened to download it this morning, but it's not. Fox retracted that. They scrubbed it, and Anna Paulina Luna, the first congresswoman that was in that.
Oh yeah, this is a good part of it. Yeah,
she has now come out and said, "Oh, I didn't say that," and she's deleted all her tweets saying exactly that. So they're in real time. These people are being told, you better undo what you just did, because we're not having it. And that's, I think you and I differ in the sense that, like, even when it comes to COVID, it's like, oh, this is a Biden thing or whatever. I think it comes way higher than any sitting president.
Oh, yeah, I'm not blind. Biden didn't know, and Trump didn't. Listen, it did a great job of getting Trump out of there. But it was doing other things to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And they got whatever they wanted to get out of the whole thing. No, and everybody played along and followed the science, and somebody because here they had Fauci by the shorties. They had him by the tiny ones, because he gave the money.
Yeah.
He gave the money because I like gain of function research. I like it. What can they say? We can create new viruses. So he liked giving the money to Peter Daszak. So he gives it to him, and it goes over there to China. Now, why they gave the money and why they were working on that virus, then you get into Joe's hole. Now you're in Joe's hole, which is, why were they creating a virus using the bats in order to then get the spike protein? Why did they want something that was so incredibly contagious that you could walk around, be asymptomatic with the thing, not know that you have it, and spread it to a whole bunch of people? Why? What was the purpose for that? And that's where Joe's hole opens up. I mean, in the rabbit hole, that is where Joe goes. And why do they do that?
Oh, you're not giving me that with 30 seconds left to go. Forget about it. I don't think it was an accidental leak at all. I don't think it was the seal on the windows in the Wuhan lab. I think they did it on purpose.
It got out on purpose?
Yeah, I don't even think it was. I think it was a test run, like a pandemic test run. They talked all about that in the.
I know. In 2019, you can look it up. They had a tabletop experiment, and Fauci was in there, and the CIA was in there. They said, okay, what if, just hypothetically, what if some virus got produced in a lab? This is in 2019. And let's just say, what would it take? What would we need to do in order to mitigate this?
Yeah, and how would people how would people react? How would the public react? What would they be willing to give up?
Just hypothetically speaking. I mean, I'm just going to make, we're kicking around ideas here.
No bad ideas.
I mean, that's documented. The tabletop experiments, 2019. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic for real. Lori?
Looks like they cleared the collision 405 southbound at 70th and Kirkland. We're looking at about a half an hour drive at Linwood to Bellevue right now. 58 minutes Bellevue to Everett, reverse direction. Seattle to Everett is about an hour drive and an hour 5 minutes Bellevue to Federal Way. Seattle Tacoma, we're also looking at an hour 5 minutes and very heavy traffic westbound 16 from the west end of the bridge into Gig Harbor. Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. As you get older and you start to think about, well, I got a lot of time. You value your time more because you might not have as much of it. So it's like time spent at home wanting to be comfortable. You don't want to be hot on hot days. You want to be cool. And when it's freezing outside, you just want to be comfortable inside. And you want to make sure that your time is respected, that your money is respected as well. And that's where Home Comfort Alliance comes in. Speaking of time, in 60 seconds, you can do this on your phone. You get a clear, honest information as to the best decision to make when it comes to heating and cooling in your house. Home Comfort Alliance has got it. I tested it. It's really cool. And they simply put in a couple of bits of details, and then they said, this is the perfect choice for you. This will save you this amount of money. This is what this will cost you. Like take, for instance, the Lennox cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will give you a new heating system free when you get the cooling system from Lennox. They can handle all the utility rebates, the available discounts for you, plus best possible value on Lennox. For a quote right now, you can get it in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
The G and Ursula Show.
Prices in the Seattle area jumped nearly 5% in April.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Well above the national inflation rate of 3.8%. So, in other words, we're paying more than much of the rest of America is right now.
It feels like a treadmill that continues to get faster and faster and faster. But somebody keeps speeding it up and increasing the incline.
G and Ursula. Watch live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon. Streaming live on your smart speaker.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
The G and Ursula Show.
Prices in the Seattle area jumped nearly 5% in April.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Well above the national inflation rate of 3.8%. So, in other words, we're paying more than much of the rest of America is right now.
It feels like a treadmill that continues to get faster and faster and faster, but somebody keeps speeding it up and increasing the incline.
G and Ursula. Watch live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology, and that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The suspect in Sunday night's fatal stabbing of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is in custody. He turned himself into Bellevue police last night and was in court this afternoon, where a judge set his bail at $10 million. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Investigators say the 31-year-old suspect made contact with Bellevue police about 10:40, then walked in and surrendered. The arrest came just hours after police released a clear picture of his face asking for the public's help. SPD Chief Sean Barnes on the G and Ursula Show says surveillance video was key in solving the case.
This person could have been walking around for a very, very long time while we wait for fingerprints to come back, while we wait for DNA, but certainly the cameras have to point us in the right direction and to identify a suspect quickly.
The suspect is jailed for investigation of murder. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
According to court documents, the victim was stabbed 40 times. Bellevue police are investigating the death of two people whose bodies were found on Tuesday. Officers were sent to a home along 163rd Court Northeast on a welfare check. They found a 37-year-old man and a 29-year-old woman dead. No word yet how they died, but police do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the community. Wildlife officials are trying to determine what killed a gray whale that washed ashore at the northern end of Whidbey Island. The whale was found near Sunset Beach. The Island County Sheriff's Office posted about the dead whale yesterday afternoon. According to the Cascadia Research Collective, 19 dead gray whales have been found along Washington's coastline so far this year. A majority of the whales were found to be malnourished. The Seattle Sounders are on a winning streak. They pulled off a wild 3-2 win over the San Jose Earthquakes last night.
Good looping ball, Di Rosario!
That sound courtesy of Major League Soccer. The victory extends the Sounders' unbeaten streak to 9 straight matches. Seattle also remains unbeatable at home. 22 consecutive matches without a loss across all competitions, the longest streak in club history. And now let's go to your real-time traffic desk and get a check-in with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. A collision cleared 405. It was southbound right at 70th and Kirkland. Still have an 8-minute delay. Linwood to Bellevue. 57 minutes in the opposite direction, Bellevue to Everett. And Seattle to Everett is just under an hour at 57 minutes. An hour, 5 minutes still, Bellevue to Federal Way. Seattle Tacoma, we're looking at an hour, 5 minutes. And still seeing a pretty heavy drive into Gig Harbor. This is West 16 from about the west end of the bridge all the way into and through Gig Harbor. With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing at your stress-free dealership, Subaru of Puyallup.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Mostly cloudy with isolated showers heading into the evening, a low around 45. Friday, we've got a mixed bag with isolated thunderstorms, some sun breaks, a high of only 55, though. A similar forecast Saturday before we clear out on Sunday. 61, breezy conditions and partly sunny right now downtown. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From downpours to backups, whatever is waiting for you when you head out the door, KIRO 7 News in the Morning will get you prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. Watch KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
I will. Well said, well read, Joe. That was impressive. Ooh. A lot of heart behind it, too. Oh. I felt that you were there for everything you just said.
Yes.
Be honest, I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Do it again?
No.
Okay.
Bucky's. Buggies. Take the car to Buggies. Auto service centers. Can't hear it. Eric, bring it up. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. It's Buck. Brady, is me going deaf? I can't. I'm above the music. No, go ahead. Here we go.
No, stop making the potato move.
No, go ahead.
The potato does not need to dance like this.
Go ahead, go. Show it. It's okay. What's wrong? You're not allowed to censor. You can't censor my breast. That's
kind of impressive.
Bucky's Auto Service Centers, when it comes to getting your car fixed, 16 locations have been around for 50 years.
You about to do heating, plumbing, cooling?
I was like, no. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. All right.
Bucky.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for that. All right. Still spending time with Joe. And folks, I'm going to say this so Joe can't hear it. Joe, about 4 months ago, something happened to him. And he is, I don't know whether it's the drugs or what, but Joe spends a lot of time in the deep recesses, in the rabbit holes, looking around at stuff, and has lots and lots of theories. And I protect you from some. I'm like Joe's like a boil, needs to be lanced every once in a while and to squeeze the stuff out of it. And okay, Joe's like a pot on the cooker. Cooker, as they say in Ireland. He's a pot on the cooker, and you got to take the pot off. His steam's coming out. Is that better?
That's better, yeah.
Okay. So in this case, we let some steam out. We'll talk about Mr. Massey. So Mr. Massey, or Congressman Massey. Is Congress or Senator? Congress. So he's in Kentucky, and he is the guy that's been constantly saying, look, give us all the information about the Epstein. You said you would. We voted you would. We get it all out there. You have not been honest. You're withholding a bunch of this Epstein stuff. You're distracting us with a bunch of other things. And now Trump is going after Massey, who from Kentucky, who is a conservative and voted with Trump on a whole bunch of stuff.
91% of the time he votes with Trump.
But he just said, look, you promised, give it to us, show it all. Now, this will be the most expensive, possibly one of the most expensive congressional fights. I think it might top what happened with Dino Rossi and Schreier, because I think it's going to be close to, right now it's already at $25 million. It's going to even higher because people that want to support Massey's new opponent, Gallerine or something like that. He was a former, I guess he's in U.S. Navy.
Nobody's heard of it.
Okay, fine. But the money is pouring in against Massey.
Yes.
So it was 81% margin, 76, 75, like full-on blowouts in the Republican primary in your district in Kentucky, and now it's within a couple of points and you could lose. Correct. And the difference is they have spent $10 million against you. Where'd that money come from?
It's come from billionaires, and 95% of it, at least 95%, has come from the Israeli lobby. So I'll give you their proxies. The RJC, which is the Republican Jewish Coalition, AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Miriam Adelson, Paul Singer, and John Paulson went together. They funded a PAC called MAGA Kentucky, which is neither MAGA nor Kentucky. But when the ad,
any of them live? Who are those three people?
They have been. Miriam Adelson is the gambling magnate who's ironically makes money from the Chinese now gambling and not in Las Vegas.
And
so
she's
much.
literally an Israeli.
Yeah, she was born there.
Yeah.
She's given over $200 million to the president. He puts her on the stage. He says that she's influenced his own policy and attitudes toward Israel. And so she's trying to buy a congressional seat in Kentucky, along with the rest of these groups that are probably, by the way, getting her money as well. And their position is more war. It's more strife. It's more bombs. It's send more foreign aid. And those are the things that I've been voting against. So the real reason that this race is a serious race and I may lose is because a foreign lobby has fully funded to the extent that they've never done in any Republican race ever before my opponent.
Why?
Well, they feel as if Massey's opponent would do better in supporting Israel and Israel's interest in the use of U.S. dollars going to help our ally in the Middle East.
I think the most telling thing about the Massey race is how Trump turned on it.
Yeah.
Like 180. And after the Epstein vote, which, by the way, if it wasn't for Massey and then he got Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think two other female Republican members of Congress voted to pass the law, the Epstein transparency law.
Yeah.
If they didn't have those four, it wouldn't have passed ever. And we would never would have seen any of it, and which we've only seen half of it. So because of that, everybody in Trump's inner circle, including Trump himself, has turned on him and said he's a loser, he's an idiot, he's low IQ, he's all these things.
Against Massey.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, 2 weeks ago, if you weren't following, she was at a conference and she got up on stage and she told the story that the president called her after she voted for the transparency. Trump said, take your name off of it, get your name off. And she said, I can't. There were girls that were tortured and raped, and we can't have, and you can't have this.
Right.
And she, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, the president said to her, look, I've got friends that in Florida, I've got friends that this thing would hurt if this thing went forward, if we disclosed and let it all out there. I've got friends that this thing, and it's not fair to them. And Taylor Greene said to the president, well, it's not fair to the victims of Epstein and anybody else that was in there doing these horrible things to these young girls. And the president said, I really need you to do this. And she said, no, I'm not. I'm not going to take my name off it. Release it all. And that was after that phone call.
Right.
She was shocked to the point that she's like, okay, I'm out of here.
And she was his most staunch reporter.
She was a big MAGA.
She wore a red hat more than he did. And then all of a sudden, 180 degrees, she's an idiot. She's the worst. He says horrible things about her, all of them. So clearly the reason is the Epstein files and their insistence that, for passing the act in the first place to get it released, and their insistence because they know for a fact that only half of them have been released.
But I guess the thing is, you look at Massey voting with Trump on so much of this stuff, and he's a conservative, right?
Yeah. If you ask ChatGPT or Grok or anybody who is the most constitutionally consistent politician in this country right now, in half a millisecond it says Thomas Massey.
So why you have outside influence? Why do they care about Kentucky? You're saying if they can get Massey out of there, then they get the person that's the skunk of the garden party, the fly in the ointment that is continuing to push for more Epstein.
Right.
So you're saying Israel wants the Epstein files to remain closed.
100%.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
So that election, which I think is only 5 days away at this point, That's going to be an interesting one to follow. And if they vote him out, then that tells you everything you know about money and politics. And
yeah, because it is weird when you think about it. Why does Israel care about Kentucky?
Yeah, to the tune he did a local grassroots fundraising campaign where people from every corner of the country donated.
Yeah.
They raised $1.3 million in 48 hours, I think. And that woman Miriam Adelson immediately said, "Okay, here's another $1.3 million to this guy that nobody's ever heard of." It's a problem.
Thank you, Joe. Here comes Lori with the answers to your problems on the roadways. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. We have a collision South 5 of the off-ramp to Lakewood, and it's a stall, but it's partly blocking the ramp, and your drive Seattle to Everett is 57 minutes, and then collision northbound I-5 at 56th in Tacoma. It looks like that one's in the left lane. Your drive Seattle to Tacoma is an hour and 5 minutes. Heavy traffic westbound 16 from the west end of the bridge into Gig Harbor, and we're looking at hour 5 minutes, Bellevue to Federal Way. Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori. KIRO, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Lori. If there's parts of the house that aren't functioning anymore, and I'm not talking about heating and cooling, I'm talking about storage. You don't think about storage as not working. Well, here's where it's failing. If you can't put anything in it, it's no longer storage. It's just a big mess. If you can't find the things that are stored, well, that's also a failure, right? Like when the closets or the garage or whatever else it is, or even worse, if you have to end up renting a storage unit because you just don't have any room in your house, there's probably room in there. That's why Closets by Design gets in there. They can see exactly where they can fix some things, and they give you more storage. Get your house working. Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
UMClinic.com. You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Muckleshoot Casino. 1-888-973-5476. Actually got a request for Rye. He said with the Seahawks schedule coming out, the full schedule is going to drop. Will Rye come on and talk about it?
Yes, he will. How about that?
Very excited about that. It was a great thing about watching your kids grow up and being able to share stuff with them. I said, Rye, have you read John Steinbeck's The Pearl? No, should I? He said, oh, yeah, listen to it. Both of us have dyslexia. That's one of the gifts I've given him. Oh. And his is not as bad as mine. So he does listen to stuff on Audible, and he's halfway through it. And it's cool to be able to share great literature or art or something like that, or parts of this show, send that to him, which he never listens to.
Wait, okay, you said earlier that he's moving back in for the summer.
Yes, because there's not enough money. Imagine this, at Cozy Radio, doing one show a week, or whatever he does there, a couple of shows, second cup of coffee, doesn't quite make enough money. And his rent was $1,500, and he wasn't making that, couldn't cover that, and then he also had to eat, and then just so he's going to move back, live at the barn, clean hot tubs again for the summer, and then save up enough money, and then head back out again.
Head back to Chelan?
Well, he's going to keep doing KOZI radio.
Okay, that was my question.
Because he's the most talented young broadcaster in the Pacific Northwest. So he'll keep doing that until eventually he gets a job. He's applying for jobs and stuff. But I'm telling him, I said, Rye, you can't just send the tape or send the whatever it is, however you send the stuff in. You can't just send it into the radio station. You got to send it to where the job is, and then follow up. Get on the phone. Hey, what'd you like? What didn't you like? What can I do? What are you thinking about? But you got to keep pounding at the door.
Especially in this business.
Right. Because if you just send it in, they're like, I don't know. But if you're the aggressive one, what do you like? Well, I need to hear more of this. Then you follow up. That's what I told him. I said, get aggressive. If you want to get a job, you got to be the one that pushes a little harder than somebody else.
Wheel.
Yes.
In more
so look
ways
at your
than one.
dad. Look what I did. Offered to fly to Grand Junction, Colorado, and have lunch with the guy. And when he was like, "Have lunch with me," I pay $9,600. I was thinking, oh, that's not bad a month. And I go, is that for a month? He goes, no, that's for the year. I was like, oh, well, I'll still fly out and have lunch with you. Well, how much money do you make? And I told him, and he's like, You don't have to come out and have lunch. I'll give you the job. You're the only one I know that's willing to risk anything. You're going to lose all this money to come do this job. So you just I kept pounding away at the guy. Kept pounding away. And finally, he hired me. But you gotta be the aggressive one on it. Right? Is that the advice 100%. You give them?
Especially, I mean, I don't know how it is this day and age, but I think it's actually gotten worse. When you're a program director at a radio station, particularly music or sports or something like that, you're getting air checks. That's what they call the little demo tapes. Right. You're getting them. Your inbox is inundated with them. And now the industry has only shrunk, so there's
constantly getting.
There's tons of more people looking for those few jobs that exist. So
right.
You gotta beat the door date.
That's right. You can't just send the tape in. No. Be the annoying guy.
Got to be annoying.
And here's advice: you always want to keep the power on the call. This is for any job. And the power on the call is you never say, okay, well, I look forward to hearing from you. Nope, you've given up the power. It's, let's talk again. I'm retaining the power. What's better for you, morning or afternoon? Both those choices work for you. Person says, morning, great. Monday or Thursday, or is there a better day for you? That's called retaining the power of the call. Then the guy goes, okay, how about Tuesday in the morning? Great, talk to you then. And then you give them an assignment. Why don't you come up with a couple of questions for me? I'll have a few for you. I look forward to answering those. And let's get that job filled with my name. How about that? I'll talk to you Tuesday at 10 o'clock. At that point, the guy's like, oh, my God, my head is spinning.
I'll give you a job just to shut
Retain
you up.
the power. Sales trick right
and befriend Sweet Talk, the executive assistant. Send them chocolates, flowers, whatever it takes.
Okay. And then throw to Lori in traffic. Lori?
And the receptionist. Don't forget the receptionist.
Yes.
405 northbound, just before I-5 in Linwood. Look out for a collision in the left lane. Starting to see a slowdown already. We're already looking at 57 minutes. Bellevue to Everett. Seattle to Everett, 57 minutes. Seattle Tacoma, we're looking at over an hour drive. As far as your lake bridges, so far, so good. We're still looking at speed limit drive, both lake bridges. I'm seeing a tiny bit of a slowdown eastbound I-90 just once you get onto Mercer Island. Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 firework nights this season presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to clean, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit EWSalvage.com.
This May, stock up on beautiful annual plants from Sky Nursery, especially if Mom likes flowers. A hanging basket for a shady spot, a patch of Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate, or straw flowers to keep in a year-round dried bouquet. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store, skynursery.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. you need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we stand by our quality gutters. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation. And visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to see bass legend Stanley Clarke live on stage. Shows run May 14th through the 17th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Seattle's own Jovino Santos Neto, May 19th and 20th.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A ruling about women's abortion pill access from the Supreme Court. CBS's Allison Keyes.
The High Court's justices granted an emergency appeal from the makers of the drug used in abortions who are fighting a federal appeals court ruling that would require women to see a doctor in person. It would have blocked delivery of the drug through the mail. The FDA stopped requiring doctor visits 5 years ago.
A plane crashed into an Ohio home this afternoon, sparking a fire. District Chief Sergey Lash with the Akron Fire Department.
Right now we know it's a small plane. There are 2 individuals that are in it and they are deceased. The family was home. There were 4 individuals that lived there, and thankfully they all made it out safely with no injuries.
The plane took off from Akron Fulton Airport just after 2 p.m. local time, according to FlightAware, and firefighters were called about 45 minutes later. President Trump has wrapped up the first of 2 scheduled closed-door meetings with China's Xi Jinping at their summit in Beijing. Both leaders' handlers made clear that Taiwan and China's desire to retake that island was the major topic of discussion. CBS's Anna Corin in Beijing.
Both sides knew the scorecard going in, but it was a stark warning from the get-go from the Chinese president. And where we go from here, it just depends. You know, we will wait to hear from President Trump. He's obviously been very constrained. Hasn't spoken to the press, and that's adhering to protocols here in China.
Across Havana, Cuba, protests have been breaking out as the city deals with the worst rolling blackouts it has had in decades. An ongoing U.S. blockade has been cutting the island off from fuel imports. Cuban and U.S. officials say that CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to the island nation today and has met with officials, including Raul Castro's grandson. They discussed intelligence cooperation, economic stability, and security issues. Also, CBS News has learned that the U.S. is moving to indict Raul Castro in connection with the downing of planes 3 years ago. Federal agents have arrested a tourist who allegedly hurled a large rock at a seal in Hawaii.
Witnesses recorded Igor Litvinchuk following the endangered Hawaiian monk seal along the shoreline of a beach in Lahaina, then tossing a huge rock at it, barely missing its head.
What are you doing?
Special agents from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration arrested Litvinchuk near Seattle Wednesday and charged him with violating the Endangered Species Act and the Marine Mammal Protection Act. If convicted, he faces up to 2 years in prison and $70,000 in fines. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning. This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
And that Covington man did answer to a judge today. We had a reporter down there, and as he answered to threatening that endangered seal, we've got that update for you coming up. But first, Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. In Linwood, 405, it's northbound at I-5, a collision in the left lane. 1 hour, 10 minutes now, Bellevue to Everett due to that collision. Northbound I-5 at Mercer, look out for a stall. That one's in the left lane. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 11 minutes. Both directions of Highway 9 in Lake Stevens near East Sunny School Road. We have a collision blocking, again, both directions of Highway 9. And an hour, 1 hour, Bellevue to Federal Way. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. A federal judge says a Covington man will be going back to Hawaii to face charges after he was arrested for throwing a large rock at a protected Hawaiian monk seal. KIRO News Radio reporter John Ripp has the story.
Right after it happened, Igor Litvinchuk reportedly told eyewitnesses he was rich enough to pay any fines. But in Seattle federal court, he said very little as a judge told him to travel back to Hawaii to face 2 federal charges connected with the rock throwing at the monk seal, which outraged animal advocate Amanda Rosbrook Doss.
It was just innocently playing with a floating log in the water, hurting no one. And, it's disgusting.
He could face fines and a year behind bars if convicted. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
The family of a 21-year-old Alexander Richardson III is demanding answers more than 3 months after he was killed in a Spanaway road rage shooting. Richardson's mother tells KIRO 7 TV.
My son never got out of his vehicle. He literally was murdered in the front seat of his car.
Police have already identified the suspected shooter, but no charges have been filed. Prosecutors say they're still waiting on toxicology results before making a decision. China's president, is apparently making an order for some American airplanes. That's what President Trump tells Fox News.
He's going to order 200 jets. That's a big thing, Boeing. 200 big ones. That's a lot of jobs. It's a lot.
Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg accompanied Trump on his trip to China. We have reached out to Boeing for comment. If you bought a lottery ticket Wednesday night in Burien, you could be a winner. According to Washington's lottery, Jay's Mini Mart at 158th and 1st Avenue South sold 20 winning Match 4 tickets worth $10,000 each. 2 other $10,000 winners were recorded in Lakewood and Tacoma. And now look at your weather. Cloudy and isolated showers develop as we head into the evening. 45 for an overnight low. Isolated thunderstorms, pockets of sunshine, and only 55 for the high Friday. Partly sunny, breezy conditions, and 61 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go. The John Curley Show and you. Yes, you.
Who?
Anybody that texts. Oh, okay. Muggleton Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. I'm going to dive it in. Amy, get ready. Get that letter of the day going. I'll be going to be Paul from Sammamish.
Paul?
It's Paul.
Oh, Paul.
Paul from Sammamish. All right, Bob Ferguson, talking about Seattle, expecting all the people coming in for the World Cup, and Nate was just telling us they're going to be closing Pioneer Square to all traffic. So is it open containers? You're going to be able to walk around with your little brewskis?
don't have a definitive answer on that, but I did see that Pike Place Market is going to start allowing that, so probably, I would imagine.
Good.
Yes.
Just like, ever been to New Orleans and have a hurricane?
I have not.
I don't know what's in that thing. I mean, I know. I think it's like basically a Long Island iced tea. But they put a little red juice in there, and they're like $3 and they give you a big cup of it.
No, it's like a yard thing, right?
I've seen that. I don't know. But good news, you'll be able to go around and get drunk and then have somebody hit you in the head with a brick. You won't feel it as much. Bob Ferguson in Seattle being an exceptional city, making the World Cup experience accessible and affordable to everybody. Listen to this garbage.
You don't get to host a World Cup series of matches, unless you're a world-class city. Full stop.
Yeah, we are. Come on down, everybody.
That competition is intense. They don't just hand these things out to anybody.
What, by the way, look it up on chat or whatever. When do they make the decisions as to when the World Cup would come? Is it like the Olympics where they make the decision like 8 years out or something like that?
I think it's at least 6 to 7 years in advance.
Okay. So 6 or 7 years ago, the city of Seattle and the state it was in then. Now look at it. All right, here we go.
You've got to have an exceptional city, exceptional partner.
Exceptionally high taxes, exceptional homelessness, exceptional departing of capital and individuals. You got to get a stagnant housing market. You got to get a socialist Marxist to be elected as the mayor, who, by the way, I endorse.
There's exceptional team, exceptional infrastructure, exceptional transportation.
Exceptional. Oh. Crappy roads and traffic.
System, all that, and more. I was reading a national article about some other jurisdictions and the challenges they're having trying to get folks to their stadiums. A headline in one article said, high prices in store for fans in some U.S. host cities. Individuals have to pay a lot of money to take a train or a bus to get to stadiums that are not in the central core of their...
Listen to this. Here they're going to save you money. First of all, if you're coming in from, I don't know, France or Germany or the UK where they got trains and subways, they got all that stuff, right? Here's how they're going to save you money. Here you go. Ready? Listen to this one.
To get to stadiums that are not in the central core of their downtown. It's the exact opposite experience here.
Yeah.
These shuttles that you see behind us are going to be free on match day.
Oh.
We're in Seattle going the opposite direction, making it accessible and cost-friendly for folks who want to attend this wonderful, wonderful experience.
Okay, by the way...
They're going to waive the $3 or less?
Nobody else is paying. Yeah. What do you care? Get on there. No one else is paying. Why should we pay? Right, exactly. Oh, don't worry, it's free. All right, here's how free it is. You ready? So when you come into the city of Seattle and you're coming in from some other country, and let's say you're going to spend, on average, they say if you go kind of like, middle of the row when it comes to prices thing, the person will spend $4,470. All right? That's going to be the hotel, the rental car, the gas, the meals, the shopping, all adding up to about $4,470. What percent of that will be taxes? And that is hotel, rental, gas, food, shopping, the meals, everything. Total amount, what percent goes to the state? Before I tell you, realize when the person comes in with their hard-earned money from some other country, $4,470 that they've got, right? They could take and buy an extra, maybe some more meals. Maybe they could buy a sweatshirt. Maybe they would buy something else, go to Pike Place Market and splurge. And they would take part of that money and put it into the economy, right? And that would support local businesses and big businesses. But no, 25% of the money that will be spent by some visitor from some other country to go to a World Cup will go to the state. That's right, 25%, because we have the highest rental taxes that we slap on somebody when you rent a car. And then when it also comes to hotels and it comes to food and shopping all together, hotels at 27% and rental cars, SeaTac is 39%. They screw you when you come in from another state and you come in to visit the great state of Washington and enjoy all the benefits of a free bus, thanks to Bob Ferguson. They're taking money out of the pockets and pouring it back into the city and back into the state. We're not the most expensive. We are when it comes to rental cars. And the reason they do this is they know you can't vote. This is taxation without representation. And they're going to screw you any way they possibly can. And there's taxes on top of taxes on top of taxes when you get a hotel room. So there you go, 25%. It's going to be rolling off not to a business, but to the state, which is now becoming a giant business in the state of Washington. So
yeah, but you get to ride the bus for free.
Get to ride. Well, no, again, nobody else is going to be paying. A friend of mine sent this to me just about a half an hour ago and said, "Have you seen this?" Let's see what he said. He goes, "Did you?" I love the fact that respected Democratic leaders realize the obvious, that we don't have a revenue problem, we have a spending problem. We've been hearing this for years. And killing our sources of revenue will create catastrophic events that we may never recover from. The event has already begun. So this is Christine Gregoire. You might remember her. And she was sitting down. Where is this? This is, what was this thing she's doing? She's on stage. She's on there with Rob McKenna. And
hang on. It was the Association of Washington Businesses 2026 Spring Summit.
Okay. I think she does mention that when she was in there, the budget was $33 billion. But here we go. This is your former governor, Christine Gregoire.
I left office with a budget of $33 billion. And the budget today is $80 billion. I think that's a little bit too much of a growth. And yet, how we find ourselves at the end of every legislative session now is in the hole and projected to be in the hole. I would suggest to you, we don't really have an income problem. We have a spending problem.
Yeah, no kidding. But everybody's been saying that. But now you hear it from former governor, Democrat Christine Gregoire. And listen to this one. She really takes a shot at some folks.
How many people in either of the Democratic caucuses have come from a business past? So if you haven't come from it, you don't know it, you don't understand it, and therefore, to me, we all collectively, and Chris and I have talked a lot about this, have to educate from the outside in. We have to explain things like sales tax on services you thought was a nice attack on big business. And here are the small businesses that have been tremendously adversely impacted, as well as the customers.
Do you think majority leaders understand, do you think our legislature understands the impact of the policy environment as it relates to the economy?
No. I really don't. As evidenced by, you mentioned the estate tax. I argued to some folks about the estate tax. We were the highest in the country, tied with Hawaii at 20%. We went to 35. We're not just the highest. We're beyond the highest. And I said, now, you understand the consequences of this. Can I see your fiscal note? Because I'd like to help it. Because here's what you can expect. Those people are not homeless.
No.
They will not pay. They're leaving. When they leave, they stop paying cap gains. When they leave, they...
Yeah, they leave, they stop paying taxes, they stop buying stuff, all of it. The estate tax, it's the only reason. I mean, there's a great bit of audio. It's when Milton Friedman was asked by this kid. It was probably in the 1970s. This kid's in it's like young hippie kid, and said, "We should when somebody dies, the government should take every single dollar that the person has." And Milton Friedman goes, "Well, that's interesting. Do you have children?" And no, I don't. And then Milton Friedman goes on to explain, he goes, "I can't understand it. As an economist, I can't explain it. It doesn't make sense. It's totally and completely irrational, and I cannot defend it in any way, any logical way. But a parent will work for their children and know that they will never see the money, but they do it for their kids. And when you have kids, if you're lucky enough to have kids," he says to the guy, then you're going to know what I'm talking about. And I can tell you don't have kids because the parent will work for their children and will die and never see that money. They'll never get a chance to use that money. They'll never get a chance to invest it. They'll never be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor, but they're doing it for their kids. Again, I can't explain it. You have it?
Yeah, you
hear it? Yeah.
Well, one possible way of redistributing the wealth without affecting the incentives to earn as much income as possible is simply to have a 100% inheritance tax.
But
since that won't
not
affect the incentives, it's only after the person's dead anyway.
I beg your pardon.
Right.
You're too, I'm afraid, I don't know the family you come from.
Yeah, here it is.
I don't, but as you grow up, you will discover that this is really a family society and not an individual society. We tend to talk about an individualist society, but it really isn't. It's a family society. And the greatest incentives of all, the incentives that have really driven people on, have largely been the incentives of family creation, of family, of pursuing, of establishing their families on a decent system. What is the effect of 100% inheritance tax? The percent of an 100% inheritance tax is to encourage people to dissipate their wealth in high living.
Yeah.
What's the harm in that?
The harm in that is that where do you get the factories? Where do you get the machines? Where do you get the capital investment? Where do you get the incentive to improve technology? If what you're doing is to establish a society in which the incentive is for people who, if they by accident accumulate some wealth, to waste it in frivolous entertainment. You know, the thing is that the thing that is amazing that people don't really recognize is the extent to which the market system has, in fact, encouraged people and enabled people to work hard and sacrifice in what I must confess I often regard as an irrational way
here we are.
For the benefit of their children. One of the most curious things to me in observation is that almost all people value the utility which their children will get from consumption higher than they value their own. Here are parents who have every reason to expect that their children will have a higher income than they ever had. And they scrimp and save in order to be able to leave something for their children. I think you are sort of like a bull in a china shop if you talk about the 100% inheritance tax having no incentive effects. It would destroy a continuing society. It would destroy a society.
Yep, that's right. But we don't have that. But the state of Washington saying any dollar over this, we're going to take 30, was it 33 or 30, 35%. How infuriating that is for somebody who's earned it. Like, okay, I die, and then the state gets paid first, not my kids. I can name 10 people right now, 10 people there, and they would kill me if I said their names on the air.
Probably shouldn't.
I won't. But they're gone. Gone. And they left. Most of them started about a year ago because of this. And then the rest I know in the last couple of months, 8-9 months, also just out. To Sun Valley, to Park City, to Arizona, to Nevada, gone. And part of it was, a lot of my buddies are older. And they go, and one said, if I just drop dead tomorrow, I can't have that. I can't have it happen. And he goes, of course, I don't want to die, but there's nothing I can do at that point. I got to get out of here now. I mean, not that they were on their last legs, but what if something horrible would happen? All of a sudden, boom, I'm dead. And the state, bang, takes that. They said, just can't do it. I cannot stand by and have them do that to us. And as Gregoire points out, it's criminal. And the thing is that people in Olympia that see no problem with it, similar to that kid saying, 100%. And the reason they put that estate tax in place is, I think it was during the Roosevelt administration, they didn't like the legacy of, they wanted to break up the idea of family wealth moving from, one generation to the next generation. So what's the best way that we can break that up is the state to go in there and grab a piece of it. Why? Isn't it? Was it Roosevelt? Is that who started it? The death tax?
The thing is, too, about, I think when you look at countries like Denmark that have a really super high income tax or federal income tax, they also have really, really great services. And people save money all sorts of other ways with healthcare and everything else. I think people, especially in a state like Washington, who are willing to pay a high tax, they just want to get something for it. And not only are they not getting anything for it now, but that number keeps going up. So they're becoming disgruntled. Yeah,
whenever you hear anybody talk about Denmark, you simply say, what does the middle class in the United States pay? What percentage? You can thank the rich people, the 10% that are paying 70%. You can thank them for the roads. You can thank them for everything, all the infrastructure, because 10% is paying 70% of the bill. When you get into the lower middle class or middle class, they're paying what? Maybe 13% of the total amount is coming from them. But then you say, why don't we live like Denmark? Okay, are you willing, middle class person making, I don't know, $80,000 to $125,000? Are you willing to pay 60% of your revenue to the government? Because that's what they are paying. 60%. 45 to 60% of the revenue, that's in middle class. That's where all the money is, by the way, is in the middle class. But the United States, the Congress doesn't want to tax those people. Tax the very, very rich. They'll find all sorts of loopholes that they can work around.
But they also get free higher education, free healthcare.
There's no free, Joe. No free.
But they're happy with it. They'll take it. They're happy paying that tax rate because of what they're getting in return for that investment.
Right.
But we're not getting anything even close to that. We're not even getting the basic service.
Right. So then they say, but if we got more money, more of your money, or more of the people that weren't paying their fair share, if we got more of their money, then we'd be able to give you all of these bennies. Well, the problem, again, if you're not paying anything, you're going to sit there and just complain about what you're not getting. Eventually, they'll get to the point. It's coming. That's why they want to do the income tax. We will get a chance to experience Denmark. You will get a chance.
Without the services.
Well, no, they said, hey, once we get the services in place, then we can give you all the free stuff.
That's a lie.
Ooh. You accusing them of lying?
Certainly being...
You know where you go for the truth? You go to Lori in traffic. Lori?
That's right. 405 northbound in Linwood. Right before I-5, we have a collision in the left lane. We're looking at an hour, 10 minutes, Bellevue to Everett. Northbound I-5 at 164th in Linwood, a stalled vehicle. That one's taken up 2 left lanes. And then in Seattle, North 5 at just north of Mercer, we have a stall in the left lane, making your drive Seattle to Everett an hour and 23 minutes. Both directions of Highway 9 in Lake Stevens are blocked at East Sunny School Drive for a collision. And we're still looking at an hour drive, Bellevue to Federal Way. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Q, Lori. You know, I know what it's like when they watch the hair begin to thin, then that crown disappears. That hair loss starts to rob you of your identity. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has got a simple one-day treatment. They regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because as your hair goes away and it's not coming back, and then you just have to face facts that you will soon be bald. Or badly thinning hair. And then you got the comb over if you're going to go that route, or maybe you get a toupee or a collection of hats or something like that. When you just face it, you just want your hair back. Wouldn't that be nice? When it starts to really bother you, you're like, gosh, I look so old in these photos. I just want my hair back. Good for you. Advanced Hair wants to give you your own hair back. You set up a free consultation to give you $250 off, 250 free hair grafts by calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this. Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, 2 years in a row. So I'll call to them for your hair back, 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
The G and Ursula Show.
Howard Schultz has got this blistering Wall Street Journal opinion piece, and he says other companies are also reconsidering their future here.
Just a reminder who we're talking about here. Howard Schultz is the same person that sold the Sonics 18 years ago. We don't have the Sonics here today because of Howard. I need Howard Schultz to just worry about Florida. I'm just tired of hearing from him, period.
G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. First-degree murder, that is the charge against a man accused of shooting a worker known as Q at the Growler Guys in Lake City last weekend. 20-year-old Lucas Logan's bail is set at $2 million. His arraignment is set for Tuesday morning. The suspect in Sunday night's fatal stabbing of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is in custody. He turned himself in to Bellevue police last night and was in court this afternoon, where a judge set his bail at $10 million. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Investigators say the 31-year-old suspect made contact with Bellevue police about 10:40, then walked in and surrendered. The arrest came just hours after police released a clear picture of his face asking for the public's help. SPD Chief Sean Barnes on the G and Ursula show says surveillance video was key in solving the case.
This person could have been walking around for a very, very long time while we wait for fingerprints to come back, while we wait for DNA, but certainly the cameras have to point us in the right direction and to identify a suspect quickly.
The suspect is jailed for investigation of murder. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
According to court documents, the victim was stabbed 40 times. Layoffs are coming to Microsoft-owned LinkedIn. Reuters reports the company is planning to cut around 5% of its staff as it reorganizes teams and focuses personnel on areas where its business is growing. LinkedIn hasn't commented publicly. The company employs more than 17,000 full-time workers globally. Well, the wait is over, Hawks fans. The 2026 schedule has been released.
Kicking off the season at home with a Super Bowl rematch, going up against the Patriots. That game Wednesday, September 9th at Lumen. Also at home, we've got the Cardinals, division rivals, Rams. The bigger rival, 49ers, Cowboys, New York Giants, Chiefs, LA Chargers, and the Bears. And then on the road, they'll take on the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Broncos, Raiders, Eagles, Commanders, and Panthers. And we do know we'll take on the Rams Christmas Day.
That's KIRO 7 TV's El Thomas, and early predictions say it'll be the Rams and Seahawks back at the Super Bowl. And now let's check in with Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Well, we have a couple of collisions northbound I-5. The first one at it looks like just past Mercer Street. It's a stall in the left lane. Northbound I-5 at 164th, a stall in the two left lanes, making your drive Seattle to Everett hour, 10 minutes. Now, I-5 northbound at Mercer, it looks like that stall might be clearing out of the roadway. Both directions of Highway 9 blocked at East Sunny School Road near Lake Stevens, and still looking at an hour drive if you're heading out of Bellevue to Federal Way. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. And let's see, it looks like it's cloudy into the evening, low around 45. Friday cools down to 55 with a mix of thunderstorms, sun breaks, and a little mountain snow. Saturday's forecast similar before sun returns Sunday back into the low 60s. Cloudy, breezy, and 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Teeny, I believe you're going to spin the wheel. The Wilcox Friendly Farm Eggs recipe. The names of all the players are on the wheel, including, Rye made the wheel as well. Well, hold on a second. My son is on the wheel, and it lands on Joe.
Crap.
Wait, it just moved. Wow. A fly landed on it. It bounced off and went on to Rye. Rye, your favorite Wilcox Farm Rye recipe, Roger.
Take like 6 eggs,
Six
scramble them, and then we didn't do the dishes, so you just eat them right out of the pot that you made them in with a lot of salt.
And a lot of salt, yeah. And then how long does the pan sit in the sink for?
Like 2 or 3 months.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, hang on. Let me get you here.
Talking Sports with Rye.
All right, Rye Rollers. Seahawks, the schedule has been announced, as we just heard. Your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. Go crazy.
I've got a lot of concerns with the whole process, of course. I don't care.
The process?
The process is the problem. Okay, I'm sitting here, I'm watching a terrific golf tournament being played on ESPN, and we have to quickly cut away from that because we need to talk about the NFL schedule release. Well, by the way, we've known who the Seahawks were going to play since February. We've known the opponents. The opponents are what matters.
Yes.
Right? So all this is the NFL's plan. By the way, this is the dog days for the NFL. There's not a lot of traction or media around the NFL right now. So this is their way to get sort of an off-season bump or kick. We're going to do this big schedule release where all the teams can come out with their creative, social media release of the schedule announcement.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter because just do the math. If your team won 3 games, you're probably not going to have a lot of primetime games. You're probably not going to play on Christmas. If your team won the Super Bowl, like mine did, you're probably going to have a lot of primetime games. That's all this day tells us. And, I can just run through it real quick. Week 1 against the Patriots. Well, we beat them before their coach was embedded in a adultery scandal. That's a win. Week 2, the Cardinals, they draft a running back 3rd overall. If you watched the Cardinals last year, you tell me the running back was the problem? Week 3, Commanders. What happened last time we played the Commanders? We boat raced them. That's a win, 3-0. Chargers,
hey, hold on. We're running out of explosion sounds. Keep going. Go ahead.
Niners. What was the final score to that NFC divisional game? That's a win. Broncos. Will Bo Nix even be back? Thursday Night Football. Probably be a sleepy game. I have that as a win. We got the Chiefs. Bye-bye. That dynasty is over. Okay, you can Google the Golden State Warriors. That's over. The Bears. My least favorite team in the NFL, the Chicago Bears.
Why? Why?
Ryan Poles is their general manager. This guy sits up in the press box with his AirPods on, and he's always got this brooding look like he's this misunderstood genius who's just going to draft a wide receiver in the first round, even though his offensive line hasn't been able to block for 4 years. The Bears run a propaganda scheme every single offseason. Hey, I know we won 3 games last year, but we drafted a really flashy skill player. Please, that's a win. Cardinals again. Come on, it's the inbred younger brother. That's a win. We got the Raiders.
Raider Nation. Somebody put on some shorts that look like long pants and give me a skateboard and a hat.
Get on the small bike and take a ride down to, I think it's an away game, down to Las Vegas. Big time win. Clint Kubiak, their head coach. Yeah, I mean, the grass is always greener, right? But it won't be on November 15th. And then we got a bye week. And then we got the Niners again. I mean, this is an undefeated schedule.
That's
Cowboys.
Wow. And Cowboys, America's team.
Right. Okay. Jerry Jones, the guy's like 85 years old. He's still running the team. Someone's got to take his credential from. You don't let him in the building.
Okay.
The Giants are kind of trying to do this Bears thing.
Yeah.
Look at all this young talent. I know we haven't been good, but buy in now, buy low. Again, Seahawks prevail in that one big time. Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles. They haven't beat us since 2011. That's a win. Rams, come on. We know. Come on. The Rams, who'd they draft with their first overall pick? A quarterback. How's that going to help? Panthers, big time win. And then it's to be determined when we play the Rams week 18. I think we go 17-0. And then we waltz our way into the playoffs and win another Super Bowl.
There's no
And the Mariners won today.
Hold on a second. First of all, I still enjoy getting on the tiny bike and heading down to Vegas like that. There's no competition?
We might lose a couple of them, but it doesn't matter. I really dislike this. I got ESPN on the TV right now. They're doing a 3-hour live broadcast. Let's break down every single game. This schedule release thing, it's so transparent what the NFL is trying to do with this. They're trying to drum up a lot of traction with NFL fans. Let's get people talking about the NFL in mid-May.
Mm-hmm.
I personally won't buy in. And we already know the opponents. The NFL schedule is on a rotation. So we know who we're going to play. The only thing that has to be decided is the standings of the previous year. And that was decided back in February.
Right.
So we've known who we were going to play. We've got a bunch of primetime games, but we got a bunch of primetime games. We won the Super Bowl.
Right.
So there was no news to break today. Other than the Seahawks going 17-0.
6 primetime games.
Perfect. We've always been a primetime team. With Mike McDonald as well as with Pete Carroll.
I've got a question.
Question.
Okay, when the Cardinals came up on the schedule, you said the inbred's younger brother. Is that Kyler Murray?
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. So he's
in Minnesota? He's in Minnesota right now.
Okay. Because he always looked kind of maybe like he had something weird about his genetics. Whoa.
What was that?
I guess maybe I just don't get it then. Who's the inbred's younger brother?
Well, I always called them like they're not inbred. Just came to top of mind. It doesn't actually make a lot of sense.
Okay.
But if the younger brother is inbred, then
I see.
inbred.
The Seahawks younger. I get it now.
You look at the NFC West.
Oh,
jeez.
No,
he's getting going.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Roger Goodell took him down.
Yeah.
All right, but
hold on, did I lose you?
We're back. We're back. Go ahead. What are you saying?
You look at the NFC West. The reason I call him the bullied redheaded stepson, is that the Niners are good, the Rams are good, the Seahawks are good, the Cardinals are never good, and they're all in the NFC West, and every team just beats up on them, and it's just fun.
Got it.
Well, right. Before you came on, remember Doug Brown? Doug Brown is the man that got us the tickets to the last game.
Oh, my good friend Doug Brown, yes.
And I accidentally sent him the Venmo. I sent him the wrong amount, and then I sent him too much, and then I overpaid him, and then paid him again and paid him. Hey, John, thanks for the mention on the radio. I think you overpaid me by $1,000. I got 2 a couple days ago, plus Zell, got the phone number. He screwed it up. Have somebody. Okay, then he just wrote me. Hey, Curly, look at the schedule. Let me know if you want to go to a couple of games. Maybe we can work out the deal. But you're telling me if we already know they're going to win, why would we bother going?
We don't. this is this is my time. I'm allowed to sort of roll down the window and crank the music on this and do a little victory lap. I spend, just arduous years after years after years, the team coming up short. They won the Super Bowl. I'm allowed to take this time to just, declare that we're going to win every game.
I like it.
Okay, so if you were to have your father's money and you were to call Doug Brown, what game you want to go to?
I think we play the Chiefs. That might be in Kansas City, though.
Why would you go to Chiefs? I thought we're going
to. We got the Bears at home. Perfect. November 2nd. Bears at home. I would love to be there.
Why do you want to go to that one?
Because I hate the Bears.
Heard it. Move on. So to go there, by the way, quick, tell the story. You and I were at the game. I forget which one it was. And I said, they were killing them, just killing the Seahawks. The Seahawks were just killing whoever the other team was. I said to Rye, if they score on the next play, we're leaving. We're leaving. And Rye goes, yeah, okay. Now, the chances of the Seahawks scoring on the next play, like statistically speaking, 1 out of a million. Remember that?
Yeah, it was 30-3 late in the second quarter playing the Cardinals. And it was 2013, so we blew everybody out back then. They were punting.
Yes.
They were punting from like the 10-yard line. So what it would have taken was a return punt for a touchdown. How often does that happen? We blocked the punt and run it in. So we left that game early. Final score, I believe, was 56-3.
Wow,
so
left before halftime?
They snap to the punter, and then it gets blocked. And they run it in. Touchdown, Seahawks. They go, right, we're leaving.
Yeah.
There we go. Rye Roller, well said, well done. There you go, out the door. Thank you very much. Listen to Rye Roller, the most talented young broadcaster in the Pacific Northwest today, according to Rick Reyes. Thanks, Rye. Bye-bye. There he goes. He's frozen. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
A collision still blocking in Linwood, northbound 405 at I-5. Your drive, Linwood to Bellevue is an hour, 10 minutes. Northbound I-5 at 164th, we have a stall in the 2 left lanes. It looks like Seattle to Everett is an hour, 23 minutes. Highway 9 blocked at East Sunny School Road near Lake Stevens. And a new collision on southbound I-5 at State Route 18. That one's in the HOV lane. And Seattle to Federal Way now about a 25-minute drive. Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 firework nights this season presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Oh, is that me? Oh, boy. Oh, this is embarrassing. I wasn't ready. I didn't have my computer. I was so busy texting Rye back. I can tell you this, though. If you do have problems like I had with my hip, and then I went to go see Dr. Mark Wagner, and he said, you know what? I looked at your MRI, looked at the x-rays, and it must be causing you a lot of pain. Yes, that is why I am here. He's done 20,000 of these stem cell procedures, and he explained to me exactly how it works. I said, okay, if it's going to get rid of the pain and you're going to take my own stem cells, it's a 90-minute outpatient procedure, sign me up. And I think that was probably 3 months ago or something. I'm running again. In fact, I hadn't run in like 5 years. Running again, got my hip feeling better. If you've got a bad elbow, shoulder, wrist, whatever it is that's bothering you, and you're thinking about surgery, wait a minute. X-rays and MRIs right to Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Have him take a look. Maybe the stem cells are the right answer for you, but it comes with you asking the questions of Dr. Mark Wagner. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, the T49A family of Biggs orcas has been the story of the past week. The T49As are one of our largest orcapods, and they spent much of the past week near San Juan Island. A new calf recently joined the family, T49A7, the 7th offspring of 40-year-old mother T49A, Nan. Amazingly, all 7 of her calves are still alive. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. And don't forget, Puget Sound Express now offers a new all-day tour that includes a 2-hour stop on San Juan Island. Orcas, gray whales, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year. More than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you crawl.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
A friend of mine just sent me this. I'm going to check and see. This is 700,000 people have already signed a petition to recall Mayor Mondani in New York City. 700,000 signatures in 10 days.
How many do they need to...
For a recall of the mayor? I don't know. I looked it up. Look it up on the thing.
Important part of the equation.
Yeah.
Is that impressive or not?
Of the total amount of people that voted for him. I mean, this is the sort of thing, like, if they get enough, the momentum gets going. It's the sort of thing they do to Katie Wilson. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. They could tried it before with another one, mayor in Seattle. Anyway, here we go. Hudson, what do you got? Uh-huh. Yeah. I can see. Right. Okay. Yeah. No. Way off. All right. We'll get to the lead of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Let's go.
Dennis in Seattle says, do you know someone by the name of Tumbleweed Tom? So you're telling me that they just went in that girl's office and took the stuff while she was having a delicious lunch?
I have no idea what that is in reference to.
CIA, Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, right. Real Tin Hat Jason says the solo at the end of Bucky's, oh man, was 3 amazing notes that landed just right.
Shout out to Jason, who has to put his oldest dog down tomorrow. Which
oh God.
On Brandy Cruz, 206 says, "We love you, Brandy. Keep fighting the good fight. Big prayers for your safety, and may God bless your steps."
Trucker Joe from Graham says, "Love you, Brandy," and John.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Clipsand Paul says, "Freedom of speech." Excuse me. And freedom of the press are one and the same, covered by the First Amendment, period, end of story.
There we go. Ray in 360 says, what the hell can we raise to defend Brandy?
What hell can we raise?
Oh.
Bob Stevens says, what
hell can we raise?
What hell?
Got it.
Bob Stevens says, what's the value of King 5 withholding coverage of conservative causes?
Let's see, 425. Totally political on the Dems' part. Yep.
Dave in Snohomish County says, if Brandy wants to be a mouthpiece, why not go work for Fox?
That's good. Monk Seal D-Bag. Dwayne in the QFC. We always love the fact that he's with us, and then he comes back and leaves us and comes back. Okay. He was educated at his hotel.
That's right.
Okay.
Goodfellas says Ukrainians had a blocks-long vegan food festival to raise money for vegan meals for the vegan Ukrainian soldiers. They pride themselves in rescuing dogs and cats from war-torn bomb buildings. He's going to be as unwelcome in Ukraine as he was in Seattle.
Chuck in Lake Forest Park says the rock came within 6 inches of the head. It would have killed or at least knocked out the seal.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Joe, I believe you have that now.
I'm going to make an executive decision and go with this quick one.
Sorry, Teeny.
On the CIA whistleblower.
Yes.
Erica M. says, what fun. We get to explore John's hole today.
Brought to you by Advanced Hair.
And MK Ultra.
Okay.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Didn't write no more.
Does anybody in management hear the show, Brady? I mean, what the? Is this even on the air?
If they did, I'm surprised we're still here right now.
Me too. Wow, luckily we are, because we got Lori having traffic for us. Lori, checking traffic. Lori!
Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. 405 northbound at I-5 in Linwood, a collision in the left lane, an hour. Bellevue to Everett. 405 southbound, just north of Southeast 8th, a collision. That one's in the right lane, and Linwood to Bellevue, just 24 minutes. Northbound I-5 at 164th, that's in Linwood, a stall taking up 2 left lanes. Seattle to Everett is an hour and a half. Both directions of Highway 9 blocked at Sunny School Road near Lake Stevens. Oh, and southbound I-5 at State Route 18. Now we have a collision in the HOV lane, making your drive Seattle to Federal Way 25 minutes. Feel the freedom of lower energy bills this Memorial Day. Get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months, 0 interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I looked something up the other day. I didn't even look it up. I said it in a room in my house.
Weekdays noon to 3.
And I have a smart device. And then for 3 days, everywhere, my phone, my computer at work, I see ads for that thing that I was mentioning. It was very specific.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
That's technology and AI being used to expand the reach of technology into every aspect of our lives. Everything.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
We identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. And
The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what